Hello, welcome to the Fanfic Majesty.
Chapter 261. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Thinking of this, Grauer turned his mind and immediately had a plan. Frankly speaking, even if I sway out at this moment, you can't kill me. Would you like me to tell you quietly? Why? Haha, it seems that you are indifferent to this secret of mine. But let you see for yourself. Before you come to chase me, you'd better confirm Roger's situation. That's it, Shaonera. Brave. Sisyphus. Sisyphus refers to the legendary figure in the Western world who is said to be able to push a big round stone 1 foot taller than himself, but his brain will only push it from the top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain, and then from the bottom of the mountain. Push to the top of the mountain. So he was actually sarcastic that Qin Luo is a reckless bull. He is fine. Now Roger is dying. He must be treated immediately to have a chance to save his life. The time that can be delayed is not much. If Qin Luo chases him at this time, Roger will definitely be hopeless. That's why he walked away swaggeringly. Roger originally belonged to Logue Town. It belongs to me. You don't need you to give it to me. I don't believe that a dead person can snatch someone from me. Qin Luo said coldly, and he was not in a hurry to catch up. Although he was darkened, it didn't mean that he didn't see why Grauer was so confident. Qin Luo walked towards Roger quickly, and his eyes flashed with a pupil in an instant. The pupil pattern was complicated. This is the white eye function attached to Sharingan, which can clearly see the network diagram of the energy flow of various organs in the human body. Before he was really dazzled by anger. After the so-called Grauer reminded him, Qin Luo felt that Roger's condition was a bit wrong. Under this sweep. Advertisement. He's not dead. Roger is not dead. Qin Luo laughed wildly in his heart, the original feeling of being so depressed, but the mood of blocking suddenly collapsed at this moment. Roger, this kid can play. The two-sword just wiped past the edges of the left and right sides of the heart, so the two-sword went straight through the chest cavity, but they did not cause substantial damage to the heart. Qin Luo had completely lost the thought of fighting in his heart. He was so excited that he even couldn't help laughing. But fortunately, there is a mask on his face at this time, and outsiders can't see Qin Luo's expression at this moment. Roger, can you last more than 5 minutes? Qin Luo knew that Roger must be treated as soon as possible, or he would die from excessive bleeding. Qin Luo knew that he could chase the arrogant Grauer back in just 5 minutes, but the kid had no good intentions. He always felt that the kid had some secrets from him. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Especially at the end, that person's expression that he was sure of Qin Luo made Qin Luo very upset. System panel. Yes, Master Host. How can I help you? Summon Tsunade for 100,000 points. Boom boom boom. Advertisement. At the same time Qin Luo said that sentence, the system panel began to react. Starting from Qin Luo's side, a complicated pentagram pattern flashed quickly with Qin Luo as the core, and Qin Luo said the familiar passage. All the converged rays of the pentagram suddenly spread out, and then began to pile up crazily behind Qin Luo about a step away, booming. After 2 sounds, there was a person wrapped in light. This body slowly took on feminine characteristics, bulging forward and back, exquisite and graceful. In less than a minute, the light on the body suddenly dissipated. At this moment, you can see a turbulent wave, with a split corset that looks like Mai Shiranui's clothes on his chest, and the hidden hemisphere is released naked in the air. Looking at this shape, it is at least F or more. It is a must-kill artifact for any otaku. Oh, my god Tyr, you are finally willing to summon me. Do you finally think of the slave house? Such a beautiful woman didn't rush up with anger, but looked at the man in front of her with a vague expression. Ahem. Think about it when I wanted to meet Tsunade in the bar just now, and then have a drink with Tsunade, and then enjoy the joy of relationship. I didn't expect it to happen so soon. The bloody woman, Qin Luo is really not Lu Shahui, who doesn't want it? It's a pity that Roger's situation is very critical now. Although Qin Luo can guarantee that he can go back and forth in a few seconds, to ensure that Roger's treatment is not accidental, Tsunade is summoned to be safe. Tsunade, this person is called Roger, save him, save his life with Katsuyu. For Qin Luo, the most uncomfortable thing in this world is the grace of beauty and the love of heroism. So Qin Luo really didn't dare to look at Tsunade. Tsunade didn't expect that his own man was actually interceding for another man when he saw him at first glance, making Tsunade's lonely love that had originally rolled up as if there was nowhere to vent it. Advertisement. Chin Luo caught Roger who was dying, and then said, "Thank you. I leave it to you here." Hey. Of course, Tsunade is not the kind of little girl like Tautu who completely disregards the overall situation. Naturally, she won't be angry because of this, but it's really irritating to see her man run away without even looking at herself. Looking at the mess on the ground, in the strange eyes of others, he bit his finger and summoned a huge living Katsuyu directly. As soon as the live Katsuyu appeared, all the tattered things nearby were shaken away. Oh my god, what kind of monster is this? It's too big. It won't be sea kings. Can sea kings go ashore? Unheard of. What kind of land kings it is probably. Tsunade almost laughed and passed away. This group of ignorant people, but she doesn't know much. Since Chin Luo immediately thought of herself when she was in trouble, she could do a good job of Zhang Wuyan with peace of mind, who tell her to think of herself as a 1.8 Chin Luo woman. I didn't expect this man to have such a serious injury. Tsunade frowned, and quickly asked Katsuyu to start treating the man. The boring Tsunade stared at the man who was going away. Suddenly a man in a black formal suit flashed before his eyes, with a wistful smile on his face, and said to Tsunade's hippie smile, "Hello, I am called Grower, you can call me that." Of course, Chin Luo did not necessarily have to go and kill the Grower because he was so rude, but because the old man already knew the secret that Roger was not dead. If this secret is spread, he will still be involved in the future. Moreover, if Roger's own layout fails, which delays the arrival of the Great Nautical Era, then the historical plot will be tampered with. Chapter 262. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Without those historical plots, Chin Luo would not be able to predict the future trend at all by then. Even if he has strong abilities, he may not be able to make a breakthrough in this era. After all, it is possible that the real end of the rule of this world government is the silly and naive Captain Luffy who has suffered an extreme episode of 2 diseases. Leaders of every era have some temperaments that are particularly fascinating. For example, Sun Pioneer who brags to the sky. He ended an era. But he failed countless times in his life, and that revolution allowed him to seize the opportunity. So these are the qualities of some world leaders. He Chin Luo may only be a respected lone ranger in this world, but he will never become the kind of leader with friends all over the world. Because he never brags, every sentence he speaks is the truth. For example, he now, 5 minutes is enough for a round trip. Chin Luo quickly chased to the sea exit using the bounce, but the old Grower fox was no longer visible. But this can't escape Chin Luo's 16 eyes, who has a strong sense of ability. Water melts everything. Advertisement. Chin Luo raised his body and plunged into the sea. All devil fruit people are afraid of sea water, but Chin Luo has an indissoluble bond with sea water. Once immersed in the sea, the situation of tens of thousands of kilometers in this sea area has already appeared in Chin Luo's mind. There is a feeling of extreme danger faintly approaching Chin Luo. The situation here is almost beyond Chin Luo's control is over. Suddenly a picture flashed in his mind at this moment. This was the information that the sea fed back to him, and a very bad premonition came out in the direction from which he came. In the picture he perceives, Tsunade is looking in the direction where he is leaving. Suddenly a man in black hardware appears in front of Tsunade's eyes. The figure and walking posture of this man look like a person. It's him. Chin Luo woke up. Isn't this guy Grower with a hippie smile on his face? No wonder he couldn't find this kid all the way, so he went and returned. No, Tsunade is dangerous. Chin Luo roared wildly, the flesh body is at full level. Boom boom boom. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. With this cry of Chin Luo, his body began to grow wildly, as if a small tree became an ancient tree in the sky in just a few seconds. Not enough, not enough. Chin Luo roared wildly. At this distance, Chin Luo didn't bother to run over, he wanted to step over. So the body needs to be big enough. He has grown up to be taller than the 3-story lighthouse by the sea. However, this does not meet the requirements of Chin Luo. He needs to be 3 times the height of the lighthouse. He can cross over to Roger's execution with a single foot. In that square. But the people in the small town have already started to panic. I don't know when a black wall suddenly appeared above the small town, blocking a large area of sunlight, as if a huge tornado was forming on the sea, covering the sky and the sun. Both the small town and the clouds on the sea are shrouded in shadows. Advertisement. Ah, what is it? Is the storm coming? Where? It's not a storm, that is a giant. How come there is such a big giant, even if Oz, the son of the devil, is not so big? I don't know, but judging from that person's size, he is on the beach of the island and is still growing. Will it be the sea devil who is looking for someone? When the people on the small island said that this person was the devil of the sea, they didn't know why they all accepted the fact that people can be so big. Of course they still ran in fear. Woman, release the man in your pet's mouth. Growler, who was wearing black clothes at this time, said leisurely. Who are you? Are you friends with my man? Tsunade is not a character like Tautu. She is a magnificent fifth Hokage. For the smiling face in front of him, Tsunade must first judge whether this person is an enemy or not. Friend. It can be said that I know the man in your mouth very well. Because of that, I may not be friends with him. But this has nothing to do with this. As long as you hand over the man named Roger obediently, I won't embarrassing you, because I have never embarrassed a woman. Even in the face of a woman with an F-shield like Tsunade, this Growler still looks like a fool. Oh, I bet you are our friend. However, I never won when I gambled. Tsunade laughed heartily. In that case, he could only rely on his own strength to guard the tasks assigned to her by his man. You are also an interesting woman, but it's a pity that you will be crushed soon. Do you know what it feels like to be ashes and scattered in the sea? Of course, Growler is very confident in his own wisdom and concealment methods. The person called Lu Yunshen was fooled around. Because of his ability to cut himself into pieces, and then hide it, together with the kind of breath that disappears directly, plus he rarely shows his ability in front of others, so in this world someone who knows his ability no more than 5 fingers. That kid must have gone to sea to find himself now, the time he spent here is nothing at all. Drink. Advertisement. A long howl spouted out of Growler's mouth, and then turned into a strange circle, and the circle quickly became a long gray matter, which reflected the turbulent sunlight. Woman, take a look at this wonderful world one last time. The strange circle made a rustling sound, and it quickly wrapped Tsunade. The gray snow-like blizzard in the circle whizzed past and quickly came to Tsunade. Ah, what is this? Before Tsunade could react, his whole body was already wrapped in bag 613 by these unknown and frightening blizzards. Master Tsunade. Katsuyu immediately felt the crisis of his master, and couldn't control the injured Roger in his mouth. He vomited it out, took a slapped kick, and rushed in with a grunt. Ended that battle circle. Don't go in, Tsunade called out, but it was too late. She wanted to say, protect the task that Qin Luo gave us. Before she could say it, she was swallowed by the blizzard. Tell you to give in earlier, but refuses to agree. What's the use of following such a brash man? I will only be fooled by me. Ha ha. Grow smiled heartily, and walked a few steps next to the lost Roger. Taking a look, Roger was already in danger. But the dead and the living are the same in his eyes. He rolled up Roger, and then prepared to direct the weird circle to cut the person and pet into pieces and leave. At this moment, look, see what it is. Yeah, it's the sky. What's falling from the sky? Is it a storm? Ah, it's not a storm. It's a living thing. Is it a super large sea king's? How come there is such a huge body? Boom. In the gaze of these ignorant islanders, their huge feet dropped from the sky and trampled all the boats docking on the shore to pieces with 1 foot. A large piece of ground was immediately sunken and a large crack appeared on the ground. The people on both sides couldn't maintain their balance and fell into the huge pit. Chapter 263. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. With the huge movement produced by this huge foot, even someone who was calm like Grau couldn't help but look at the place where the movement was made. Taking advantage of Grauer's momentary loss of consciousness, Tsunade, who had been swallowed by the white light blizzard, suddenly rushed out and snatched Roger back. But before Tsunade was ready to escape, the white light blizzard followed like a shadow and enveloped her again. Tsunade is in a white light blizzard. It's hard to protect herself, let alone protect a dying Roger. She was able to rush out before because of Grauer's frustration and carelessness. Now she is being stared at by Grauer fiercely. That's all, Hey, Tsunade sighed. She must complete the task Shinluo gave her. She didn't want to disappoint Shinluo. So Tsunade first summoned the living Katsuyu again, let it swallow Roger, and then released the summoning, let Roger hide in the space of the living Katsuyu first. I underestimated you, a woman, but you'd better give Roger out. Grauer's eyes grew worse. He had just made a major mistake. He has never allowed mistakes. If he makes a mistake, he will eliminate all the people who caused his mistakes. Naturally, Tsunade would not return to him. Seeing that huge figure, Tsunade knew that Shinluo was rushing back, and now she just needs to hold on. Woman, it seems that he is coming, I can't keep you. I will prepare a surprise for him. Grauer still looks like a hippie smile, but the killing intent he revealed is getting stronger. The finger in has begun to tap. Lulu. With Grau's whisper, an invisible and innocent circle was released from his body with him as the center, followed by a large flash of light, and directly joined the white light blizzard that enveloped Tsunade. Ah! The snowflake-like blades stabbed Tsunade one by one. This was only a small threat from Grau. He was going to cut Tsunade into pieces later. I can't hand it over. When will it be your turn to take care of my mother's affairs? I will give it to whoever loves it. Tsunade yelled wildly, and a blue cursor flashed on his forehead, which disappeared after a flash, obviously entering in Tsunade's body. The surging chakra burst out of Tsunade's body. 100 healings mark solution. Advertisement. Buy how technique. Open. Chakala formed a large protective layer on Tsunade, and the vibrating energy wave directly blocked the blizzard-like white sword light from the opponent. Powerful. The blizzard is still. One after another, the pieces of iron fell to the ground. It hurts my feet. Tsunade released the chakra he had usually stored, and raised his strength to the Naruto level at one time. Even if it was a little worse in this world, it was at least Admiral level attack power. As Tsunade soared into the sky, a large amount of chakra gathered on Tsunade's feet, so that a faint blue chakra light condensed on the feet. Drink. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The violent power surged from the feet. The terrible physical skill, after receiving the strong increase of chakra, directly broke out the strongest kick. Rays of light in midair shoot out with Tsunade as the core. Grauer looked at the woman in front of him in shock with a blinded face. He originally thought that this was a woman with a little self-protection ability. He did not expect that his attack was blocked immediately, and now the other party's attack has already made him feel dangerous. Grau immediately summoned his blizzard and wrapped himself backhand. Boom boom boom. Advertisement. It hurts to fall straight down. It slashed all the way, and landed directly in the blizzard. Numerous dense blades slashed and scratched that foot. At the same time, Tsunade, ah! With a loud roar of Tsunade's attack on the foot did not diminish in the slightest, and he cut down directly at Grauer, breaking up the blizzard directly, but the same did not see Grauer's figure. Numerous dense and slender cracks began to crack around with the painful feet as the center, and there was not a whole piece of land on the ground. Haha, good woman, you still have this hand. Grauer laughed wildly, shocked, but he was just shocked. He could feel that the woman in front of him was also suffering tremendously. The woman in front of her feet was already bloody. You are hurt so badly, you can't support it for long. Grauer continued, his voice revealing Ruruao's cruelty. I can support until he comes back. This is Tsunade's response to Shinluo's promise. The relationship between the two of them is no longer the kind of giving and getting. They have begun to not distinguish each other. No matter how much is left in life, what can be given is all right. To each other. Ninja art. Meiotic regeneration. Tsunade murmured, continuously reducing his lifespan, using chakra in his body to stimulate the proteins in his body, accelerating the division speed of various cells, thus achieving the regeneration of tissue cells and even tissues and organs. From the outside, the chakra entwined by her own body began to emerge again, flickering one after another, and all kinds of wounds wrapped around Tsunade's whole body. No matter how big or small, as long as the chakra swept over it, it would be straightforward. Repair as before. It hurts my feet. Chakra's power stimulated the painful nerves in her feet, causing a huge energy shock. Tsunade once again soared into the sky. Advertisement. Woman, you haven't seen the gap between me and you, so you ran up to death by yourself. Grauer was already angry. Blizzard rage. The snow-white blades flying all over the sky formed a huge storm, like a hurricane generated from the sea level after experiencing a large area of high and low pressure air current colliding. The height of the blizzard has reached 5 meters. Kaka. The surrounding houses were attracted and turned into fragments. The wooden house was pulled in directly, and almost turned into a pile of debris with 2 clicks, and the sand and stones on the ground were also swept away. A large cracked ground soon appeared on the ground, and it was pulled and rolled into the air. Die, woman. Let me give you a grand blizzard funeral. Feeling the more and more turbulent energy on his arm, Grauer felt like he was about to lose control of the storm. Even his own face was accidentally scratched by energy ripples. Dump. Grauer commanded his hand, and a huge blizzard came out. Facing the Tsunade falling from the sky, he bit into it directly. Tsunade. A roar fell from the sky, like thunder. Chapter 264. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. At this moment, there was a thunderous roar from the sky, and a huge hand flew down and snatched Tsunade away accurately, while the other foot stepped directly on it. From Grauer's point of view, the current picture is weird and strange. The blizzard he created is already a 5-meter-long monster, which is already hidden from the sky for ordinary people. Although there was a commotion from the other side of the coast just now, Grauer casually guessed what secret technique Qinluo used to rush back. She definitely didn't think that the sky was hiding a lot of shadows from Qinluo's body. It is in this cognitive error. When Grau concentrated on preparing to kill Tsunade in one fell swoop, he inexplicably saw the sky and suddenly stretched out a hand to directly protect Tsunade from midair. At the same time, Tsunade's painful feet suddenly magnified dozens of times, and it clicked like a human being trampled on an ant and stepped on it. The 5-meter-high hurricane was kicked to pieces by a big foot in an instant. So sharp, so crazy, the blizzard blade did not hurt that big foot at all. The big foot seemed to be a little painful without being directly stepped on, and Grauer himself was stunned, so by the way, he was trampled to death on the spot with 127 feet. Grauer became the first pirate who was trampled to death by another pirate since there was a pirate. I guess he will be as famous as Roger, who completed the Grand Line for the first time. Qinluo squeezed a sweat and quickly shrank himself. Advertisement. Tsunade, Tsunade, are you okay? Qinluo hugged Tsunade and stared at Tsunade, who was blue all over. Qinluo is not only a pirate fan but also a fan of Naruto for 10 years. Of course, at this time, I can see that Tsunade has lifted the mysterious power in his body. If this energy is used too much, it will definitely go wrong, such as reducing lifespan or something. Seeing Tsunade's eyes closed slightly, long eyelashes trembling slightly, there is no reason why he wanted to get up and kiss him. Qinluo secretly asked whether he was too frightened, or artificial respiration. Forget it, I'll suffer a bit, and try to do artificial respiration. Ah, master. As soon as Tsunade opened her eyes, the first thing she saw was the man she was thinking about day and night. At this time, the other party was shamelessly approaching her mouth, but she didn't feel sick, but she just didn't know why. There is no reason for a red, now Ning, wanting to fall to the ground. What are you doing? Let me down. I'm not advocating American imperialism. When the show is over, I kiss the heroine. Qinluo gave a weird smile. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Go away. My old lady is a woman from Konoha village, so I don't want to eat that set. Tsunade snorted. Qinluo put the person down in a weird manner, and murmured, I have been to my bed, and I still care about the kiss. What are you talking about? Tsunade put away the 100 healings mark of his whole body again, extracted energy from his whole body chakra, and reformed a rune on the center of his eyebrows. The rune flickered and disappeared, becoming I left a sapphire on the center of my eyebrows. No, it's nothing. Qinluo quickly calmed his mind and said, if this kind of thing is known by the stronger Tsunade, I'm afraid I won't be able to climb it up in the future. Where is that person? Tsunade said. Who are you talking about? Advertisement. The man in black. I don't know. Go and see if there are any prints on my footprints. Qinluo said. Tsunade walked over and took a look. Sure enough, in the huge footprint that Qinluo had just stepped on, there appeared a crushed and invisible person. This person was directly embedded in the soil, and the whole person became like a piece of paper. A mouthful of blood appeared in this person's mouth, and this mouthful of blood was obviously spit out unexpectedly when he received a heavy blow. Tsunade has been fighting with this man for a long time. He knows that this man definitely still has a lot of abilities that he hasn't shown. At this state, it seems that this Grower must have never expected to be killed instantly. Otherwise, it won't be so ugly. Hey, how come this person is so insecure? So a stinky foot fell, and he didn't even escape. Tsunade muttered. You said my stinky feet, then your painful feet. Chin Luo said fiercely. My feet are incense. Hong Kong feet. Chin Luo didn't hold back his brain twitching, and directly uttered the internet nouns of his own time. You're looking for death, right? Although Tsunade is not a person of the same world as Chin Luo, he still understands this sentence, because Chin Luo had explained this term to her before he was so immortal. It hurts my feet. Lady for my life. Chin Luo confessed quickly. This quickly releases Roger and summons Katsuyu to hang himself. Advertisement. Leave you alone. ... If Grower was still alive at this time, he would have vomited blood and died. This blizzard of his own has been blown up to 5 meters high. Who knows that there is a monster that is at least twice as high as 5 meters? Just step on it. No matter what he thinks, the 10-meter-high giant is not what he can imagine. To blame, I can only blame Chin Luo's body at full level for being too abnormal. Chin Luo didn't know how depressed it would be for Grower, who was trampled to death by his own foot, but this kid did so many insidious transactions, so that the method of death is worthy of the crime. Chin Luo glanced at Garp and Sengoku, who fell on the ground, and left without saying anything. Tsunade followed. Garp and Sengoku glanced at each other and wanted to catch up, but they were almost guilty. Garp said optimistically, one day they will be caught by us. Then we will put them both in the eternal hell. No, this kid can grow bigger, and the infinite area can't be closed. Forget it, leave it alone, this kid will die one day. Seeing that black robe added to his body, the back of the flowing clouds grew further and further away. You're so optimistic, what if this Luyun will live forever? Sengoku almost spit out another mouthful of blood from Garp. How can a person be immortal? You and I are both in their 70s and 80s, and they are almost too old to bite their teeth. There are always people who will live forever. In Marine, Sengoku is one level higher than Garp, and naturally has a broader knowledge. After that, after thinking about it, Sengoku suddenly has an idea. After all, he is a wise general, who is naturally more sensitive than ordinary people. No, we have to go back to see Marshal Gangukong. I have a guess. I don't know if it's accurate, but I know it's possible. Sengoku struggled to stand up, his chest suffocated, and he vomited. It was a mouthful of blood that came out. Chapter 265. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Sengoku, stay a little longer, you are not immortal, can you manage so much? Garp is still indifferent, and the sky is falling down, there are tall people standing on him. The most important thing in life is to live freely and freely. I think Luyun is really alive and smart. Last time I escaped from birth, I ran out of eternal hell and heard that the peach and rabbit from the marine camp had been seduced, as well as the sexy stunner woman just now. What are you thinking about? I tell you, 5 elders is the fruit of life, if he goes. Sengoku said more and more quietly. What are you talking about? Go back quickly, go back now. Get ready to call Marshal Gangukong and make an appointment with him. The look on Garp's face gets darker as he listens. If this conjecture is true, what happened here, things will become more complicated, and it is not something they can handle. Immortality, who doesn't want it? Garp arranged for 2 lieutenants to deal with the ship problem, and then went to find a phone worm on his own. Blue blue. Garp called the telephony worm, and after calling for a long time, no one answered him. What happened? Garp was not reconciled, and continued to dial the empty phone worm. Garp, is Roger dead? Did the public execution go well? There was a majestic voice from the other side of the phone. Garp knew that such a blunt tone could be considered kind, and Gangbone Kong was known for his violent temper. You will find out later that Roger was dead, but his body was robbed. I was afraid that he would go violently. Report the marshal. Roger is dead. Sengoku has a conjecture about 5 elders, which is related to Luyun, and asks the marshal to wait for us at naval headquarters for a day, and we will report to you on the ground in person after a day. Roger is dead. That would be the best. This terrible pirate finally died. Advertisement. However, Roger's body was robbed. What? Why did you get robbed? Didn't you go with Sengoku? Sengoku came over. Let me die, and let me know. Otherwise, Lousy will kill you. Report to the marshal. Sengoku was injured by his duty, and he was vomiting blood just now, and is now receiving treatment. Don't pretend to be dead, you two quickly get back to me and report. Patter. Garp was hung up when he wanted to continue talking. The expression on his face was as uncomfortable as if he was constipated, but the robbery of Roger's body did harm Marine's face. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Under the supervision of Sengoku and Garp, there are still people who dare to openly riot in the law ground. This is to damage the majesty of Marine. What is even more frightening is that both Sengoku and Garp were overthrown by the people who rioted in the law ground. This face is really embarrassing, but fortunately Roger is dead, otherwise today may be the day when Marine is sweeping the ground with majesty. But this cannot be blamed on the two of them. After all, Luyun's ability is no longer what they can provoke. The Holy Land, escaped from eternal hell, these one thing is not the big news that shocked the world. I'm afraid of tomorrow's newspaper. There is no wind or waves on a small island not far from Logue Town. No one except the locals can call the island by its name. The seas around the island are very quiet, without sea kings and crazy weather changes. At this time, a huge ship docked on the edge of this small island, which was twice as large as an ordinary marine warship. The huge canvas painted on it was a skull representing a pirate, with a beard in the shape of Xuanyu, and this is Whitebeard's pirate ship. Advertisement. Everyone on the pirate ship was ready, as if a cruel war was about to take place. Everyone was stubborn, and no one dared to relax a little bit. Sitting at the center of the boat board is an old man who is twice as big as a normal person, with white hair like silver, naked upper body, holding a bottle of wine in one hand, and a person with his body in the other. The commensurate bowl is pouring and drinking one by one. On the left and right are the captains of his fleet. The captains of Diamond Joe's, Bramank, and Atmos, Buffalo, are standing in the forefront. Behind the second squad, there is a very inconspicuous newcomer marshal. Ditch. But at this time everyone is in a tight line. Report. The Phoenix Captain Marco, who went to the reconnaissance, is back. At this moment, someone shouted from the observation tower at the top of the pole. Go and pull up. Diamond Joe started, and then sent someone to the side of the ship's gunwale and pulled up the people below. Marco's complexion and frowning make his already gloomy eyes even more uncomfortable. Daddy, I have found out. Marco said dryly, but still wanted to tell Daddy and everyone the urgent news. Dry this bowl of wine first. Whitebeard pushed out the big bowl in his hands. Yes, thank you Daddy. Marco did not postpone, and took a sip of the wine. After drinking, without putting down the big bowl, he couldn't wait to say, Captain Roger is dead. What? Captain Roger really died? Was Marine caught and executed? How could this happen? We can't believe how Marine has the ability to catch Captain Roger. Advertisement. I don't believe it. I'm going to see Marine to confirm in person. I have to see people or corpses if I live. Everyone said in a word, sharpening their swords. They all wanted to set off immediately, and then directly drive the ship into the Marine fleet to fight with Marine. Really? How did he die? Whitebeard took a few sips, then said. A lot of things happened later. Captain Roger was not killed by Marine. At that time, the situation was quite chaotic. The god of flowing clouds had already appeared in the practice field and was about to rescue Roger from the high platform, but Marine Admiral Sengoku and us were not expected. Garp's mortal enemy was also on the scene. These two men who had reached Admiral's level directly attacked Lu Yunshen. But Lu Yunshen defeated them in one fell swoop. Marco described the thrilling scene in great detail, but there were also errors in some places, because these were not what he saw with his own eyes, and most of them were inquired from others. They came too late. In the end, Roger hit the edge of the sword. Everyone felt that when they heard this, Captain Roger was indeed an admirable man of temperament. The reason why Whitebeard Edward Newgate befriended this person and regarded the other person as a confidant is precisely because he fancied the person's outgoing character. But now, Roger is too worried about Qin Luo's safety and even directly sacrifice yourself so as not to get Qin Luo tired. Really, success is also Xiaohe, and Xiaohe is also Xiaohe. Lu Yun snatched Roger's body, and where did it go? Whitebeard asked. Nowhere. I asked all the people nearby, they don't know where Luyun went. But someone saw them being eaten by a huge whale. Marco said. Chapter 266. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Okay, this is Roger's own choice. Come, brothers, have a carnival and have a sip of wine. The era of the big pirates is coming. Whitebeard listened to Marco's description, especially the sentence that Roger shouted when he was executing his sentence. If it made a sensation in the world, it would surely make the pirates all over the world go crazy. But for a mysterious man like Luyun, there is no such thing as being eaten by a whale. The era of the big pirate. Everyone was waiting for it. Suddenly, Daddy Whitebeard laughed wildly and made the brothers drink as if Roger's death was something to celebrate. Of course, they would not think Daddy Whitebeard is really happy for Roger's death, so it can only be to celebrate the era of the great pirates that Father Whitebeard said. Coming soon. Will there be more pirates in the future? Will they rise in the sea? The gloom in everyone's hearts was immediately blown away by the carnival in front of them, because carnivals are always the favorite of pirates. Merry Geois, the holy land of the world government, the 5 elders gather again. A man wearing a cloak of justice, frowning on his face and an M-shaped beard, walked to the gate with a dark face. Gangukong was extremely depressed. Just now I received bad news from Garp's grandson in Logue Town. As a result, I just hung up and called in. It turned out to be the contact person for 5 elders. The other party didn't say a shit, and directly called Gangukong from naval headquarters to Mary Geois to meet 5 elders. Advertisement. Boom. Come in. A very majestic voice came from inside. The steel frame opened the door empty, and the first thing I saw was the remaining 5 elders. Due to the long-term high position, easy manipulation of the world situation and his death, each of the 5 elders gave people the feeling of not being angry or presumptuous. Although the 4 of them were casual or standing by the window or sitting at the table, they were all staring at the steel bones, presumably they had been waiting here for a while. These 4 people are usually very busy. The main reason why they can wait for the steel to be empty is mainly because they want to get news from Luyun. It is important to know that the aftershocks of Luyun's destruction of the Holy Land have not disappeared, and Luyun directly wiped out one of them, 5 elders. So that there are only 4 of them now. The remaining 5 elders appeared here, although they were invisible on the surface, in fact they were trembling in their hearts. Because Luyun's existence is like telling them that the dead are their role models in the future. They have seen Luyun who came to the Holy Land last time, the black robe is added, and the flowing clouds are auspicious. This image has become their lifelong nightmare. Luyun broke their myth of immortality. Ryun is like Shinigami, reminding them that they may die at any time, and it will be Ryun personally waving the sickle in his hand to harvest the heads of the 4 of them. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Roger in Logue Town is dead, have you confirmed? Among the 4 old stars, a man with white curly hair, Peng Song's white beard, wearing a flat hat, and a scar on his left face, sits on one side with his hands in his hands. Leaning on crutches, he asked, looking straight at the steel frame. It was Sengoku and Garp in prison. They didn't return. But after hearing their briefing, they saw Roger bleed to death with several swords in his body, but his body was. Gangukong replied. Before the answer was completed, they were taken by one. The bald old man snatched the conversation. What you mean is that you didn't even confirm whether Roger was completely dead. The body was still snatched away. Do you want to be a marshal? Said the bald old man. Yes. Gangukong said. Advertisement. Yes, it's your mother. Do you want me to remove you? The bald old man couldn't help but explode. The bald old man is the one controlled by Qin Luo through distinguished heavenly gods. Of course, he hopes to remove the steel skeleton, and then come up with an incompetent person, so that Qin Luo can be at ease. Marine is not doing things well. It is inevitable for the world government to have ideas. I hope you can understand. We look forward to seeing you Marine do something and don't let the pirates get away with it. A man in a dark blue suit, he with long straight white hair and a long beard, he came out and said haha. Marine will change if it doesn't work. First think this Marine is the worst one. The bald old man continued to hurt. Okay, Gangukong, what on earth do you want Luyun to do? Why did he steal Pirate Roger's body? Where is Luyun now? Said the flat-headed old man who had spoken earlier. This person is the number 1 elder of 5 elders. This is not known for the time being. Gangukong replied truthfully. Then let CP9 check it. Haven't you woken up? Where is the ability to do things? The bald old man is just a shit stick. I know I don't need you to teach this. Gangukong was completely on fire, and Laozi exploded. Hurry up and figure out a way to solve Luyun, the thief, and can't let him get away. Another person who had been silent for a long time interjected, and the golden man's face was slightly worried. The scar on his chest was a little faint because of his excitement. Make pain. Double the bounty. To mobilize bounty hunters around the world, you must harass Luyun. The people who provide information to Marine are also rewarded. Roger created an era of great pirates, and we simply did it. There is a big bounty era, said the flat-haired elder number 1. I don't think this method is okay. This will only make Luyun more proud. According to my opinion, we ignore it on the surface, and secretly we will send additional personnel to arrest Luyun and bring him to justice. The bald old man looked at the direction of the wind. Confront the unfavorable direction of Luyun, quickly exit to stop. Advertisement. I didn't expect that when I was halfway through the conversation, I saw elder number 1 with a flat hat cast unfriendly eyes. Sora, what did you say about arranging for Qin Luo to fight Luyun? Isn't this kid's family very mysterious? Check it out quickly and check it hard for me. We must uproot this group of vicious guys. The blonde man asked. Isn't CP9 doing a thorough investigation? Gangukong said. CP9 belongs to the government intelligence agency and is not under the control of Marine. The two are still in a competitive relationship. Gangukong, hurry up and contact Qin Luo. The old man in the flat hat said. Go down. By the way, ask CP0 to come in. Gangukong feels that he is here to be angry, and treats these bastards as an inflator. If nothing is resolved, it will be for nothing. However, Gangukong is still 3.5 can smell the air that treats Luyun. Unusual breath. There is a saying that is their Marine's famous saying, you can't escape to the ends of the world. Now Luyun felt like a nightmare for the remaining 5 elders. Thinking about what Garp explained to himself just now, I feel more and more that the remaining 4 people and 5 elders have begun to reach a certain consensus. Shiluobu village in the East China Sea is a peaceful island village. People live a life of pristine nature here at sunrise and sunset. It is a poor town, and generally few pirates pay attention to it. Of course, Marine is also the same. Usopp is a person who has stayed in this village since he was a child, but he always yearned for the sea and wanted to see what the outside of the village was like, because only in the wind and rain can he grow into a real man. Chapter 267. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. As always, he looked at the world outside the village, and suddenly there was a scream in the sky, and a letter gull flew to Usopp from somewhere in the sea. Usopp felt very excited. He looks forward to news of fighting in the sea every day. Not long ago, I heard that the great One Piece Roger had been arrested. It saddened him for several days. It was finally time to wait for the latest news. He hurriedly opened the newspaper to read it, and saw that it was written in astonishment. The terrible pirate Roger was killed by his neck. One Piece was about to die and said something that shocked the whole world. Do you want my treasure? Then look for it. Treasure, reputation, rights, if you want, I will give you all. He was very sad at first, but he didn't know why when he saw the last sentence that One Piece said, his emotions were completely boiled, and he almost jumped into the sea with excitement. Ah, I want to share this news with Bensina. The Great Root is waiting for me, calling me. Great 13 Roots. Dressrosa. It is a small island full of holiday style, surrounded by some beautiful windmills, and there are many flowers that will open as long as the temperature is right. In a hotel in a town, all kinds of young couples were singing, and a man stumbled out of the hotel because he was dumped by a woman and drank a lot of alcohol. Patter. Advertisement. Suddenly a large poster was blown in from the seashore. The head-on was stuck on his face, and he tore off the newspaper from his face in a daze. Glancing at the newspaper headline above, the whole person's back shuddered, fearing that he might not see clearly. Rubbing his eyes and looking at the newspaper in front of him, suddenly he was completely drunk. Shouted to the sky, Roger is dead. The terrible pirate Roger is dead. Our world is at peace again. World peace. Really, it's a pity that a pirate died. Well, Marine escorts our country, so we can be here, right? Thanks world government. The people around were originally immersed in the various fun of dating and fishing for guys and seduce the second wife in field battles. The news of Roger's death only caused a ripple among them. Inside the palace, Cyrus presented the newspaper in his hand to His Majesty the King. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. His Majesty took a look, but said nothing. Your Majesty, why are you not happy about something so worthy of celebration? Cyrus asked. These things are not important. What gives me a headache is the princess's marriage. However, the people in the dark zone of this world were startled with panic, some were sad and some were rejoicing. Roger is dead. One Piece Roger publicly executed his death sentence in Logue Town. Look at it, but I don't know who actually snatched Roger's body. Who do you think will snatch Roger's body? Advertisement. Why would Roger's body be snatched away? Is there anything hidden in it? No, things are very wrong here. Look, One Piece said that his wealth is hidden in the end of the Grand Line. Did you say that this person snatched the body of One Piece Roger to get the treasure map? It makes sense. Go right away and find out who stole Roger's body. At this time, a person with a piece of black and half white on his body walked out and rudely snatched that person's newspaper. Fame, wealth, and power are all at the end of the Grand Line. We just need to call it Lou. If Yun's brat snatches the body of One Piece Roger, we can get Roger's treasure. Hey, you kid, pay attention to me. But when he saw this half-black and half-white man turning his face, the person holding the newspaper shivered unexpectedly. You are the Black Ripper Jack. Damn, the super big pirate with a bounty of 800 million, a man who is rumored to only walk in the dark world. This bounty is still 10 years ago. How come I met here? This person was directly pierced through the abdomen by the Black Jack the Ripper before he finished speaking. Ha ha ha, the reason I walk in the dark is because everyone who has seen me died. Little ones go, he actually said to the air behind him. The group of people hiding in the dark trading port of Lexus rushed out of the bay with a frenzy and entered the azure ocean. There was a roar in the sky. The poster was dumped. This poster was very peculiar. It actually fell into the air, and the air actually sneezed loudly when the poster fell. My mother, who dares to attack the lousy Mekong pirates? He picked up the newspaper and saw that it turned out to be a wanted order. Although he couldn't see the expression on his face, it was air after all, but he held it in his hand. The newspaper he was reading trembled unconsciously. Hey, brat, what are you doing here? Then there was a pattering sound, and when he saw that he didn't respond, he said again, Your mother, you didn't respond to me, you are watching. Whose wanted order is so fascinating? Advertisement. Go and tell Captain Jack Black. This poster is so weird. The bounty is 2.5 billion. What a daze. Go and see the captain. 493. Is there a location update on this? Is it actively near Logue Town? Yeah, that's why it's weird. This person named Luyun has a familiar name. Isn't this person the mysterious man who robbed the body of One Piece King Roger yesterday? Is the treasure really on this person? So the two went to report to Jack the Ripper. Under the reward, there must be a brave husband, and the official Rogue World government provides extremely accurate positioning services. This saves a lot of time for pirates to find Luyun. Naturally, more people flock to find Luyun. Where is it? What if the blind cat ran into a dead mouse? Wouldn't it be possible to receive 2.5 billion Baileys directly? However, the Luyun god that caught the world's attention, that is, Chin Luo, is like a good baby at this moment, staying in a place deep in the Dragon Palace, and he is waiting anxiously at the door. I started to move around nervously. Don't shake it. It hurts my brain. At this time, another Hidan, who was dressed very similar to Luyun, sat a sideboard and yawned. He was holding a book of Cthulhu World in his hand and read it with gusto. After all, I like that set. Don't you know that I am in a hurry? Don't let me shake. I will be suffocated to death. Chin Luo said with no bossy demeanor. Chapter 268. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. What are you doing in such a hurry? You are not going to be a father anymore. I have been dead for many times. I don't know how many times I am still doing well. Hidan said. UF King Undead. Believe in Tsunade's medical skills, he can bring Roger back to life. Hidan finally said seriously, according to his previous character, he would definitely be cynic, but who said he was the boss in front of him? Huh. Chin Luo's thoughts are flying away. If anyone knows that Roger is not dead, then the world will be fun. he can ask Roger to take him directly to the end of the Grand Line, Ravdru. After all, he needs points now, and needs mysterious power. Just now, in order to relieve the inner depression, as soon as they returned to the Dragon Palace, they summoned Tautu and Hidan out of their heads. But just now, the points system asks if you want to predict the future development of the plot in advance. Due to the result of waiting too anxiously, Qin Luo unexpectedly agreed, so the system told Qin Luo, Roger will live in the dark world in the future. System, don't conceal it. What does this mean? Qin Luo still didn't understand what the system wanted to express. Could it be that Roger would live underground forever? Can no longer appear in the vision of other people? Advertisement. Because Roger must die before many people go to sea, and many people look for the treasure hidden by Roger. If anyone knows that Roger is not dead, it will become that many people are looking for Roger, not Roger's treasure. You go all the way to the Grand Line, and you will know the answer you want. The system said stupidly again. After the answer, the task. Directly guide the host to complete the task. 20,000 points deducted from system points. 200 points remaining. What? Hey, system, you are so embarrassed to deduct my 20,000 points. Why don't you grab it? Wrong. This is more efficient than grabbing. Quote. Qin Luo was speechless. Really a cheating system. Who cares about the information you are talking about? There are many devil fruits and many mysterious powers on the Grand Line. What do you want to say? I have absorbed all the mysterious powers in the world. Don't I still know the answer to the world? It's like who doesn't know that your mother is a woman? This requires your guidance. Cheating system. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Ah, I was born. Just as Qin Luo was thinking about the subsequent predictions of the plot, Tsunade screamed in surprise from the door of the room that had been closed. Gave birth. Qin Luo felt inexplicable. Why did it happen suddenly? It's not about having a baby. Qin Luo hurriedly pushed the door in, and saw Tsunade sitting under the sunset with a cigarette in one hand, smoking a cigarette comfortably, watching Qin Luo entering the room walking towards her, still looking like a pair very indifferent appearance, completely lost the feeling of deep affection on the battlefield just now and willing to give each other's lives. Born. Tautu who came in to help exclaimed excitedly. Advertisement. Turning his head and grabbing Qin Luo shouted, he hugged Qin Luo's arm and rubbed it with his soft part, you are going to be a dad. You are going to be a dad. Most people can't guess what Tautu is doing. But Qin Luo, who was familiar with Tautu, knew that she was taking the opportunity to tease him again. Nonsense. Who is going to be a father? Qin Luo had a black line on his face. The current situation is clearly that Roger has been rescued and Roger's consciousness has been restored. Luyun. Pirate King Roger suddenly called Qin Luo with a very small voice. Roger, what's the matter? It turns out that there is such a handsome face under your mask, but there is always a familiar feeling. Roger said. Of course you are familiar. My name is Qin Luo, and my external identity is Luyun. Ah. Quote. Tsunade, what's the matter with this guy? Tautu looked at Roger, who had regained consciousness just now, and suddenly passed out without finishing talking for a moment. It was too scary. I can't help but consult Tsunade, who is skilled in medicine. Tsunade glanced indifferently, and said, you have too many people, and this man is smothered to death. Except Qin Luo, everyone else should go out. Eccentric. Fake public for private benefit. Vicious Tsunade. Advertisement. Tsunade was full of black lines and yelled at the last Hidan who spoke, Hidan, you have a kind of say it again, believe it or not, my mother hurts your feet. It makes you more painful than death. Don't, you just stay a little longer. Hidan has never emptied his mouth. Except for Naruto, who is full of verbal shield skills, Hidan really hasn't spared anyone on his mouth. Now when he encounters the unreasonable Tsunade, he will naturally explode. Up. It hurts my feet. Boom. Ding. In just an instant, Tsunade rose directly into the sky and kicked it down. Hidan pulled out a coquettish scythe directly from behind. The painful feet and the scythe slammed into each other, and the Dragon Palace trembled 3 times. Okay, Hidan, Peach Rabbit, all go out. Qin Luo watched Hidan and Tsunade's fight. The top priority was to stabilize Roger's injury. How did Roger faint when he fainted? Soon there were only Tsunade and Qin Luo left in the room. Tsunade pressed his hands on Roger's chest, and a blue chakra appeared and wrapped around Tsunade's hands. After a while, Roger let out a muffled sound. Humph, wake up. Qin Luo, you really know how to play. You make people in this world fear you again and guard you every day, but no one of them can think that you are the person that the world government wants to win most. This is really an amazing scam. Hi, really hi. Roger praised Qin Luo in the first sentence when he woke up. You really take it seriously. In fact, it's just like this. It's not very powerful. It's you, just a word of you, making people all over the world rush into the Grand Line madly. The whole world is mad now. I'm looking for the treasure in your mouth. At this point, Qin Luo really admires Roger. You are different from me. I made such a thing with the belief that I was mortal, and made a great sacrifice. You are different. You can be light or dark. If you disappear, you will disappear. Roger sadly, he had already thought a lot when he was in a coma. He couldn't destroy the coming era of great pirates, otherwise everything before was in vain. So even if Roger was alive, he would have to live underground for his entire life, disappearing from everyone's sight, abandoning everything he had in the past, whether it was his status or his family and friends. Chapter 269. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. In fact, you don't have to worry. I am a very good friend, he can predict the future. Qin Luo naturally would not explain his system to Roger, and simply said that he was a very good friend. He said to solve your current dilemma. The method is on the Grand Line. On the Grand Line. I've walked the whole way, and there is nothing. Roger said. Really, the whole road has been walked. Isn't that the final treasure also seen? Qin Luo said suddenly. Well, there is wealth, fame, and power that make everyone crazy. Why didn't you take it away? Guess that I collected it from all over the world and put it there, or it was originally there. I guess there are both. With your Roger's character, you must not be able to speak big words. If you say there is crazy wealth, reputation and power, you must have it. But since you went to sea until now, it's not like you can accumulate such a treasure, but do you have any previous trophies around you this time? I want you to put those in the final treasure. But the final treasure must be quite amazing. I'm very curious about what's inside. Can you tell me about 620? This explanation is very interesting, but I still hope you, like the rest of the pirates, will take a look for yourself. Because there are some things that you can only see if they are placed in front of you. Those things cannot be described in words. Roger, it's no shame to say, there is indeed such a magical thing in the world. Qin Luo, do you believe me? Believe. Qin Luo glanced at Roger heavily, then said calmly. 1,000 reader with 1,000 ManhwaRecap. Advertisement. But what is certain is that once a person has those things, he basically has the ability to threaten the rule of the world government, and it is wealth that can be used by a person in a few lifetimes. What do you believe? The conversation between the two of you has no substance at all. Tsunade said disdainfully. Ha ha. The two smiled at each other. Roger, your problems are on my body. I can save you from living in the dark. Qin Luo said. Really? Apart from living underground, I didn't think of a better way. The friend I mentioned to you just now is a more detached existence in this world. He told me that as long as I set off all the way to the Grand Line, I can help you solve this problem. Of course, your friend also makes sense. Going to the end of the Grand Line and exposing the treasure to the world, isn't I the equivalent of surviving? Roger laughed heartily and shed tears unconsciously. Maybe, maybe not. Qin Luo secretly said that his system would not be so cheating, at least he wouldn't write bad checks to himself. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Roger, I'm going out first. Whether it's right or not, I'll do it first. I believe I will do it. Qin Luo said. But in fact, Qin Luo still feels that his system is not very reliable, his points are somehow gone, and the information given is ambiguous. Finally, you have to go to the Grand Line to find more devil fruit. It is best to find devil fruit manner, water it every day, and grow a few devil fruit every day. In addition, Qin Luo felt that the environment where Taotu and Tsunade were both in, seemed strange. So Qin Luo confessed a few words and let Hidan and Tsunade stay here to take care of Roger. Advertisement. One day later, on a ship with a pirate flag with a pink skull tied on its head, the parts that emerged from the skull's head were the male and female symbols, male sign, and female sign. This is a very peculiar thing. Skeleton heads, more than 20 men and women running back and forth on this ship. On the opposite side of this ship, a large sea king about 7 or 8 meters long appeared. It looked like an aber snake. The whole body had a strange thread shape, and the snake letter was spit out from time to time. At this time, it was overwhelming. Captain Emporio Ivankov, what can I do? At this time, a man in a pink dress on the ship said, with a female hair bun enchantingly hovering over his head, and he was talking aloud. Hurry up. This large sea king is my nemesis, and it can make my crew's chest grow into a flat chest. It is our nemesis. The captain, known as Emporio Ivankov, is a fluffy-haired captain. The explosion, the person wearing purple lipstick, is wearing a naked full bikini, and the feet are covered with female hollow lace. This is the captain of the Shemale clan, and the revolutionary cadre afterwards. When he said this, didn't he notice that he had no chest at all? No, Captain, several of us have been eaten by this large sea kings. It's too difficult to deal with flat breasts, the ladyboy with pink memories called. Flat chest. I'll fork your uncle. I am flat-chested and proud to reduce the crime rate for the country. That's it, Eva thought. What trick should I use? Is it ipolio female hormone that makes it a woman? Or did ipolio androgen make him a man? This is really a life issue. Captain, go ahead, we can't beat it. The lady boy with pink memories urged. Lightning boy, don't worry, hip-hop, wait for me, ipolio facial growth hormone. Give it facial growth hormone, look at me. During hip-hop, Eva made a decision, from her own hands. A long whip was pulled out, and the whip moved like a long snake. Advertisement. Shoo. A stream of venom was sprayed on the snake-shaped sea kings, who were stupefied and disturbed by the wind and rain. The purple poison slowly swallowed the snake-shaped sea kings. The venom turned into a poisonous mist, slowly squirming, turning into a substantial spray. I don't know what changes have taken place inside. Did you fall down? Lightning boy asked. It should have fallen down. Hiss. Suddenly the snake-shaped sea kings chuckled the poisonous mist cleanly, and its head became 5 times its previous size. It has become a king cobra directly, just like an evolved arbor monster. On the big head, there are 2 eye threads unique to the King of Glass's Lion Majesty on the left and right sides. Hachi. A puff of purple smoke burst out, quickly enclosing the fleet. The toxins in the sky began to spread around and into the sea. And a huge whale was slowly passing upstream from the edge of this sea area. Suddenly it felt that there were some strange smells in the water in this sea area, and some strange smells were smelled in the air, so a sneeze came out, and the back of the whale hulled. A lot of water splashed in all directions, and the water accumulated in the inside was sprayed out like a fountain. Inside, Chin Luo was originally basking in the sun. Tautu was wearing a bikini swimsuit on the side and was about to put on sunscreen, and then lay beautifully under the beech tree. Peach Rabbit, let brother help you. Chapter 270. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Smelly pervert. Go away. HMPH. You don't agree to me, believe it or not, I have 100 ways to let you automatically embrace me. Big pervert. Oh, big pervert bullying me, with a full body of martial arts, he wants to bully a good woman like me, bully a weak woman like me, oh, so heavy. The cute Tautu touched the 2 big killers on his chest as he said it, and then looked like he was about to fall, revealing a deep career line. Chin Luo, who was looking aside, almost turned his eyes into a Kainu Kasaki's firefist magma, and his body was hot. Suddenly Rab sneezed, and Chin Luo was staggering, and then he couldn't help rushing to the front. Then he was drenched with water from the upward rush, and flew out directly from the hole in the back of the whale. Peach Rabbit. There was Peach Rabbit who flew out with Chin Luo. Peach Rabbit is also wearing a bikini outfit. If it is seen by others, it is Chin Luo who suffers. Gravitational. Use gravity to deepen the gravitational force between yourself and Tautu soon flies towards him. Flying in the sky, Chin Luo glanced around, and the first reaction was, wow Sao, shouldn't you cross into the Pokemon world? Right in front of me is the giant big-headed snake sea kings that looks exactly like the arbor monster. At this time, it is entwining a pirate ship, which is like a pirate ship swaying with the wind and waves helplessly in a storm. The lone boat will capsize at any time. Advertisement. Chin Luo is so angry. He was basking in the sun on the beach just now, and Peach Rabbit was still beating his thigh. Just when he wanted to further discuss the ideals of life and the future happy life, the smelly snake actually smoked the odor to the bottom of the sea. The old man doesn't show off. Do you treat him as a sick cat? So Qin Luo changed his outfit and instantly changed to the look of Lu Yun. At the same time, he put a cloak on Taotu and flew towards the snake-shaped sea kings. Mask boy, go. This snake is weird. At this time, Eva in the distance saw a young man who appeared suddenly, which made him shine. After all, due to the fast flight, the strong wind tightened Qin Luo's clothes. Showing a perfect and strong figure, this is definitely a deadly weapon for the Shimale clan. This man's way of playing is so different. He can fly on the sea and has a perfect body. He is so masculine. It really gives people a feeling of wanting to be crazy. Eva sincerely feels that the man in front of him must be here to save herself. After all, his charm is so great. But he himself couldn't beat this weird big snake, so he didn't think that only a man with a good figure could beat this snake-shaped sea kings. Boy, you are too skinny. You are not his opponent. Come on, leave me alone, go by yourself. Eva cried. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Wow, you shouldn't be Emporio Ivankov. Known as the Shimale Eva. Qin Luo saw a strange flower with a purple exploding head and red lips, wearing a bikini and lace tights, standing in the middle of the purple mist. Man. The picture is too beautiful to describe. Qin Luo hurriedly covered Taotu's eyes, and couldn't let the fairy-like Taotu be frightened by this demon man. Wow, you really have a relationship with me. Where did we seem to have met? Mask boy, Eva uttered as soon as she met the boy she liked. Wow, of course you've seen me. Lousy's posters are flying all over the sky. Isn't it bad luck recently? I don't know which guy is actually updating his position on his wanted reward order all the time. Wow, Sao is really in one place. When the place showed up, I met a group of people who wanted to hit the dog shit. Although Qin Luo could make them frustrated by raising his hand, it is still very annoying to meet these people. Advertisement. And the most terrifying thing is like ants, endless, crushing one to one another, forcing Qin Luo to hide in Rabu's body. By the way, this guy is also for his own bounty. After all, that is 2.5 billion Baileys. Boy, you don't do it. Eva said. He didn't know who the masked man in front of him was, but after a round of thinking, he remembered this man, with a black robe on his body, floating clouds, and a mask on his face. Can't be wrong, this person is Lu Yun. That's 2.5 billion Baileys. Eva smiled wickedly. Hey Captain, that snake-shaped sea kings has attacked our ship. Lightning said. Big monster snake, I won't play with you anymore, I have more important things to do. Eva smiled mysteriously, and an excitement hormone was injected into her body. Her body grew several times and her hands made one. Super moves, and then reveals strong muscles. It's time to train the beast. The big monster snake gets down. Pata, the original long whip was still used, but with this flick, it was thrown out of Eva's hand, and a rope directly struck the snake. The big monster snake was a big one. Crooked, the whole snake has become dementia directly. Big monster snake, be good, come here, I'll feed you. With that, Eva ordered Lightning to feed the marine that had just been caught. As soon as Marine was released, he cursed directly, you ladyboy scourge, if it wasn't for Marine who was dealing with the golden lion in the fortress at the time, and my admiral were not there, would you have a chance to catch me? Lousy would not accept it. Put in, Eva ordered Lightning. Lightning yelled, wow ha, and threw the marine into the mouth of the big weird snake. Immediately afterwards, Eva jumped directly from her boat to the sarcoma part of the head of the big weird snake standing, and the snake instantly hung its head to cooperate with his movements. Advertisement. ... How about, boy, do you want to follow me? Tisk tusk. I finally understand. Qin Luo looked at the ever-changing situation and stopped flying towards the Serpentine Sea Kings. It was obvious that the Serpentine Sea Kings had been tamed. If they passed, he and this Eva would definitely there is a battle. Some fighting women are not suitable for participating. One is that they are afraid of danger, and the other is that the person in front of them is too disgusting, and it is not good to pollute their eyes. Why, you see that my ability is superb, you can't deal with it, right? You see you are going to send away the woman in your hand directly. Hee, it's because you are so ugly, I'm afraid she can't bear to look straight. Qin Luo said with a salty face. Labrab. Rab swam directly over with a few wailing sounds. Chin Luo put the woman on top of Rabu's head, and then urged Rabu to leave. Then Chin Luo turned around and didn't press too much, just kicking Eva. Huiyan legs. You used this trick. Where did you steal our Huiyan legs? Eva's face changed. After all, men who bounty 2.5 billion Baileys can't just do it casually. It can be dealt with. He now has a friend who is ready to do big things, but he doesn't have any funds in his hands. At that time, Eva told the friend named Dragon that if he hunts a few more bounty pirates, he will have the funds to do big things. However, Long seemed to have other plans, so he didn't continue talking to him. Otherwise, according to his Eva's plan, he would ensure that the dragon would be able to do well now. Report 36%. Chapter 271. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. What is your family's? Don't you have to talk about it first? Let's see if it's this trick. Chin Luo smiled. The Huiyan leg in this population should be the Huiyan leg that Sanji learned from him. In midair through high-speed friction on the feet to make fire and then increase with armed color. Although Chin Luo doesn't use the armed color to increase, but can use gravitational repulsion to rub on his feet to make fire. It also looks very much like Huiyan legs. Don't be ashamed to say anything about your family there. I tell you, it's a price to slander me. Chin Luo said, floating in the air. What's the price? Of course it is the price of life. Your life will be given to me. Arrogant. Boy, this world is not what you want to do. There are many things you don't know. Nonsense. Don't you know that your mother is a woman? You. Eva screamed, and the long whip in her hand flashed out. The purple shadow of the long whip was divided into several, and each shadow continued to be divided into multiple shadows. These shadows flew back and forth between them, basically divided. I don't know what is true. 1,000 arrows penetrate the heart. Eva swung the long whip in her hand faster and more swiftly, and also put some poison on his long whip. It was a depression hormone. As long as she stabbed a person, it could make that person feel depressed. It's the magical poison that makes mistakes. Kill. The long whip suddenly turned into 10,000 pieces, like Lion Majesty, biting straight towards Chin Luo. Full repulsion. Advertisement. Shen Luo Tianzhong. Chin Luo once again slammed the power in his hand madly. After all, these powers are not for money, and they are extremely lethal on a large scale. Suddenly, the sea surface with Chin Luo as the core appeared cracked water patterns. The water was originally round, and it would never appear to be cracked like land. It's just that Chin Luo's lethality is too strong. The sea water is separated, it is still separated like the kind of crack. Ding ding ding. Bilaba. The ladyboy will die for me. Chin Luo leapt over, wanting to kill him with one hand. So he now sees if he can let him go and save the person from the Kamabaka kingdom first, and then ask the royal family to find devil fruit. Every time a part of people is saved, he needs to find a devil fruit for Chin Luo. This way not only can it save a lot of people, but you can also have a large amount of devil fruit in your bag, so you don't have to worry about your own system points. Amaterasu burns the sky. How can there be such a terrible flame in this world? Poor Eva looked at the sight in front of her and was stunned. Eva was completely stupefied by the opponent's ability. Even if this person is Long in person, he may not be able to get any benefits from him if he displays all his strength. Beep beep beep. This plan is really good. Eva, who was eager to be wise, hurriedly signaled that the mount at her feet spewed poisonous mist, and suddenly the surroundings were surrounded by purple poisonous mist. Advertisement. Of course you'd better move faster, because I don't know when I'm upset. Maybe I will kill people, or throw your captain into the sea. Chin Luo gave the other party a piece of you that made me very happy. Melancholy expression. What? Chin Luo wakes up the stupid lightning, and then tells him the ultimatum. The flame spread and grew rapidly from a small jab at the beginning, burning up all the 20 cubic meters of purple poisonous mist that was sprayed by the huge strange snake on the sea surface. This is a weird picture. Originally, the entire site environment was full of mist and seawater. No matter how fierce the flames were, they couldn't do anything here, but no one would have imagined that the black flames could actually remove the poisonous mist containing water vapor. Burn directly, and burn more and more. Rabu, lock this person up. Chin Luo kicked the dying Eva into Rabu's stomach with one kick. 5.5 Before Eva had time to say a word, the whole body was directly wrapped in the unknown black flame. The hot Amaterasu flame burned him until he was unconscious, and Qin Luo dissipated the flame. Don't repent. Amaterasu. You call lightning, right? You'd better prepare 40 devil fruits for me. Otherwise, your captain will sit in prison with me. Remember, if you want to find me, go to the place marked by the fiery red cloud. For example, the Fishman Island, that is the chassis of my cover. In addition, Roger's injuries are serious, and maybe he needs the help of this person. However, he was stunned in the next second. Why, don't you still have a lot of conspiracies? Don't you still have vicious tricks that you haven't used? Qin Luo walked towards this person named Eva step by step. Qin Luo originally planned to subdue this person, but now it seems that something is not right. This person has a bad temper, and a fire of Amaterasu burns over. Advertisement. I saw a flash of red eyes suddenly flashed out of the previous purple fog. Those eyes were wafting with chilling fear from a vampire, and then that eye seemed to be a flame that summoned a demon from hell. Eyes. The poisonous fog burned directly at the place where he was looking directly, giving birth to a black and unknown flame. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. But I kept thinking about how to use the person in front of me to obtain devil fruit. After all, Eva could save the patient who was not able to treat in the kingdom of Kamabaka, and became the king of that country. Amaterasu. Mantian Amaterasu. These names are all later named by Qin Luo. Because his Mangekyo Sharingan has full-level eyes, all he can use is top energy, and he has a steady flow of chakra energy, so he can't use it all up now. The power of Smelly boy, can't you see me? Ha ha ha, just wait for the poisonous mist to slowly eat away your energy. Then you will know what the poisonous mist is for. Ha ha ha, Eva laughed wildly. Qin Luo can only temporarily give up chasing Eva, and use his backhand to increase the repulsion of his body to the extreme, so that he can directly shield the tiny smoke in it, making the poisonous fog unable to get close. The big strange snake sprays poison. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. I don't believe in evil. Excitement hormones. Eva gave herself an injection, and the purple liquid was quickly injected into her body, and the muscle lumps all over her body suddenly swelled. Randomly adjust the energy of the eyes to the full level, and burn all the purple mist in the surroundings directly from below. Thousands of lion majesty blasted up with these crazy repulsive forces head-on, making a tinkling sound. Those thousands of long whips instantly seemed to freeze, stopped, and quickly decreased in midair, and then changed. Become a long whip. What kind of picture did he see? If he knew it would be such a result, even if he was killed, he would not provoke this 2.5 billion Bailey man. The picture in front of him is guaranteed to be what he has seen all his life. Among them, the most terrifying. Advertisement. Chapter 272. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Master, be careful. Those venoms are dangerous. Baby, I'm not afraid of a husband. Pervert, be careful when you speak. Yes, lady. Go to hell. Yes, lady. I'm going now. Qin Luo has been babbling at the peach rabbit. It is obvious that molesting is good for physical and mental health and harmonizing the relationship between husband and wife. The snake-shaped sea kings was originally tamed by that Eva, and now a powerful master like Eva was directly stunned by the man flying over in front of him, which made this big snake more or less daunted, but I couldn't help but see the appearance of that person flying directly over. I opened my mouth and ate it. Hiccups. The snake-shaped sea kings swallowed the characters who had just made him tremble with fear. There was an unreal feeling. This kind of change was too strange. The snake-shaped sea kings just ate Qin Luo, and his face immediately rose purple. Advertisement. Snake-shaped sea king's belly came up with a thumping sound, followed by a flutter, as if a balloon was blown up. The snake-shaped sea king's belly burst directly, and the sky was full of blood and rain. Fortunately, Qin Luo just took Rabu and Taotu away, otherwise they would all get into a show at this time. Treasures, fame, and rights are all for you, you just need to find them. Why? I won't eat people for no reason. Qin Luo originally wanted to reassure him, who knows? I tell you, if you can't work out an effective strategy. Suspension, prison, exile, you will all have you. Rabu. Qin Luo relied on his own repulsive force to form a coat on the outside of his body, so even if the various acid and venom inside the big snake's belly were thrown into him, There was no way to corrode him, it broke the belly of sea kings and came out. I tell you, the best way now is this. Isn't there a madness outside saying that the era of big pirates is coming? You double the bounty of the most ferocious pirates, and all these people become the prey of bounty hunters, and stimulate more people to become bounty hunters to hunt these pirates. Then you can catch a few typical bounty hunters and build momentum for bounty hunters to create a big bounty era. Absolutely. Don't lose to Roger. Master, where are we going now? Tautu glanced at the person who was burnt into black coke, and said with lingering fear. You just said that you Marine and Golden Lion are at war. As soon as Qin Luo exited, the Marine was frightened and immediately knelt down. Please let the god tier let go of me. I have the old and the young. You are a big man. Don't eat me. Qin Luo and the tattered Marine in front of him spoke at the same time, but the former was calm and relaxed, but the person behind was trembling all over. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Now Sengoku is very depressed. Just received a call from Marshal Gangukong. Gangukong's violent temper and the anger in his tone spurted out without hiding. Peach Rabbit helped me wake him up. Entering Rabu's stomach island, Qin Luo asked Peach Rabbit to wake up the Marine. Advertisement. Sengoku, what do you eat? 2 hours ago, Malin Vander, Naval Headquarters, the Front Fortress. Go, Malin Vander. It is good. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, Second Element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. That's interesting. Think about Laozi's destruction of the Holy Land and rushing to the eternal hell. It seems that you haven't gone to the Marine Fortress to play, let alone this naval headquarters. Be quiet. Qin Luo listened to annoyance. I ask one sentence, you answer one sentence. I am satisfied, and I will naturally let you go. Where is the fighting place? Why is the fighting? How long has it been fighting? In a short while, the bloody rain fell, and then there appeared a thin young boy in the same place, a long figure, a burlap cloth but spotless in the bloody rain, showing the coldness of his body vividly. But with a face like a Korean Obama, no matter how cold it is, no one thinks it is bad. This gap is too big. I'm going. Marine was blinded. Where am I? Where am I going again? 987. You sent so many people over, why can't you keep One Piece's body? Don't you know how many people are staring at Roger? This is not the most important thing. The most important thing is why you let Roger speak in the end. How many people go out to sea like crazy? Advertisement. Yes. What can Sengoku do? I can't beat it, and it's not the grandson's opponent to call Garp. If possible, he would rather treat Luyun as an uncle than to deal with him. This is a killer god. Golden Lion suddenly killed Malin Vander 2 hours ago and called for Sengoku to play, saying why Roger was killed by One Piece. How could he be caught by Marine? But speaking of it, he felt that he would choose One Piece. In the East China Sea, killing the East China Sea, the weakest among the 4 seas, would be a slander for the pirates. Are you Luyun? You were still talking about it just now. After a while, vomiting twice, Marine said that the venom in his mouth was vomiting out. Rabu, help him. Qin Luo yelled, then kicked the person into the water mixed with gastric juice and seawater. Rabu sneezed and took the water inside and the Marine directly above his head. Sprayed out. Are you Marine? Okay, you can go. Qin Luo said. And most importantly, the thing that makes Qin Luo very painful is that the points he has on hand are very tight, and he needs a lot of devil fruit. A devil fruit only costs 800 points. It is too slow. It takes 4 or 5 to upgrade to a full level. Million points. Gang Bone Kong just came out of 5 elders, and none of the 5 elders is annoyed. They will vent their anger on Gang Beng Kong. There is no way for Gang Beng Kong, so Gang Beng Kong suffocated. He can only cast his chi on Sengoku. When did I say that I would eat people? Even if you can eat people, I wouldn't choose yours. Correct. Chapter 273. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Golden Lion's hands were imaginary, and the abandoned pirate ship quickly floated behind him, crashing down and falling in midair. With the help of gravitational acceleration, it quickly formed a high-altitude falling object of thousands of caddies. In an instant, the Marine Group army was immediately suppressed by the overwhelming means of attack. Patter. The pirate ship from the sky crashed down, smashing on the young soldiers and directly crushing the past, and the sail of the marine warship fell directly on the warship, and the sound of wailing continued from below. You give me enough. Iron fist. A black iron fist, with the increase in armed color, slammed straight toward the golden lion's forehead like a meteor. Lion Majesty ship roll. The huge abandoned ships that fell from the sky that day suddenly changed their direction in midair, rolling up a large hull directly from the original place, and the hull was tightly wrapped, like a big Shandong burrito. Rolled up in the same way, slowly forming a lion head, opening the blood basin and exposing sharp teeth. The rest of the wood scum around was directly attracted by the rolling lion's head. Pieces of wood chips were attracted by the strong wind and swept away from him, and the surrounding clouds were directly shaken and shattered. Advertisement. Feeling the vibration from his hands, Golden Lion knew that his arms had reached the limit. Roar. I spit out this roar, and pushed out from the left and right sides with flat chests. The lion head wrapped by two waves of strong shaking ship rolls rushed out surgingly, with an angry beard, a big mouth in a blood basin, and long fangs, towards the prey. Galloping out. Well, this golden lion has actually learned this trick. The expression on Sengoku's face was different, and he felt the energy on his body gushing out, and the wood scum fell from his body, all of which fell from the hull, but he opened the protective cover, so it was gone 1 meter above his head. Lieutenant General Garp, it's dangerous. The other lieutenants also saw it and roared wildly. Golden Lion opened his hands as if the boss of MLM came out. The audience cheered and tightened their hands. The audience calmed down. Golden Lion said, well, you marine scum, you don't deserve to have such a powerful and insolent marine fortress, you unworthy to supervise and / One Piece Roger. I will tell you today that the only person in this world who can bully Roger is Shiki. Fist bone meteorite. The two huge lion heads were thrown out, and the red eyes directly rushed past the high-rise building of Malin Vatican. There was a loud noise in the frame, and the two huge lion heads directly smashed the high meeting room, and the dark black ball directly biting Sengoku and pushing it back. Dozens of pillars behind him were directly broken or knocked open, which shows the power of the two lion heads. Garp was swept into the ground by the mighty lion. The marine warship below was directly knocked open by Garp. Garp continued to fall in and shot the entire marine ship directly through. Kwong. Boss, we don't want any big ships. It would be better if we just stationed here in Malin Vander. Or it will be directly under our jurisdiction. A new generation of One Piece. Sengoku, do you want to fight with me? Golden Lion looked at Sengoku in front of him with painful eyes. From the abandoned ship behind the Golden Lion suddenly appeared many pirates standing on the ship, and the pirates shouted, Golden Lion. Advertisement. The dense dust enveloped it and spread out from all directions, forming a circle, so that the people outside couldn't see what happened to the people inside. Just when Golden Lion thought the whole world was cheering and sending flowers to him, a black figure suddenly appeared from the abandoned marine ship on the ground. 2 men are defeated. I won't let you die so easily, get me up. Golden Lion will kill with 1 blow, standing in the forefront with majestic strength. Bump. Wow. Golden Lion is so awesome and is our idol. At the same time, a golden light suddenly appeared in the ruins of the marine meeting room, and the golden light was shining everywhere, directly smashing the waste away from the side. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Bump. Frame. Boom. By then everyone in the world will already know who is the real One Piece in this world. Sengoku wears a crane top hat and a goatee, and he, known as Zhejiang, glances at the bottom of the marine ship indifferently. These so-called Marines, let's go back to the country to grow sweet potatoes without fighting. The pillars with a caliber as large as 1 person encircled them, were directly bounced by the golden light. Advertisement. Amidst the mess of smoke and dust, there was a violent bang, which shot out directly from the smoke and dust, a stream of yellow and white inlaid light. The lion head directly bit the white marine justice wind. Garp directly hit and crashed into naval headquarters. The marine ship directly in front of the fortress. How dare you ignore me? Golden Lion shook his hands frantically, shaking the abandoned ship with both hands, as if his hands had the ability to attract other abandoned ships, and quickly attracted the surrounding abandoned ships together. There was a clicking sound inside, and it was wrapped up. What is this trick? Iron body. Garp didn't expect that the other party had suddenly changed the trick. He directly wrapped his whole body in iron body, and instantly became a piece of black iron. I now declare that the former marine fortress Marinvander is under the jurisdiction of my Golden Lion Great Pirate. The surname will be Jin for generations to come. As soon as Golden Lion spoke, he changed Malinvando's surname to Jin in one sentence. A yellow-brown lion head streamer touched directly and slammed into the garp protected by the black iron body. The surging yellow-brown lion head encountered the impeccable iron body, and a huge burst of force occurred. When the sound, the yellow-brown lion head's power waved, and finally passed and piled up, eating this directly with iron body. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Hold your head high, let the storm come more violently. The arrogant garp laughed wildly. Kill. 2 earth-brown lion heads rolled up a tens of millions of abandoned ships, dragging their long tails, set off directly from the Golden Lion's side, and under the double increase of the powerful gravitational force and the acceleration of gravity, they directly became a terrifying level. Energy ball. Golden Lion suddenly smiled when he heard it. After all, when he was fighting against Roger, he was directly defeated by the sudden weather. Now this time, Marine killed Roger. In the end, Golden Lion kicked Marine out of Malinvando. Garp, your kid is still too tender. I didn't even deal with you yet, you were just blown away by me. Garp, the rookie, seeing that Lion Majesty hit the bottom of the sea with one of his own tricks. Garp, Golden Lion felt unusually excited. So Sengoku ignored the Golden Lion. In his eyes, it was more than enough for Garp to beat the man. The poor Golden Lion didn't know that he had provoked the 2 best men in Marine. Advertisement. Chapter 274. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. What is that, Captain? It's shining golden. A burst of golden light will be able to shake the whole area open. This is how much power is needed and what kind of ability is this? It is said that Garp has the strength of Marine Admiral, but he just doesn't want to be Admiral. Although Sengoku of Buddha has always been known as the wise general, he showed super combat power the last time he fought with Ryayun God. Absolutely not. Quote. 3 short-eyed people on the boat started chattering and arguing. Give me the gun. Golden Lion shouted suddenly. A group of people following the Golden Lion shuddered immediately. They all knew that the Golden Lion had a cruel temperament and would often kill people at every turn. One time it was said that he had lost a battle and shot his crew directly. Of course, these things were secretly spoken by them with the Golden Lion behind their backs. They didn't expect that the disaster would come out of the mouth. When Golden Lion spoke, everyone trembled. One man tremblingly pulled out a gun from his arms. Bang bang bang. The more Golden Lion listened, the more annoyed it became. He took the gun directly from the man and fired 3 bullets in a row. The 3 bullets hit the heads of the 3 people who were discussing enthusiastically just now. Being up for others and destroying one's prestige. 300 Golden Lion blew away the black smoke from the rifle. Advertisement. Captain, be careful. At this moment, a black iron bullet broke out in an instant. Fist bone meteorite. Garp slammed the iron bullets in his hand. He continuously received the bullets from the ammunition depot from behind him, and threw the ignited cannonballs as shots through his powerful wrists, not more than cannonballs. Win the shells. This hand, from the starting hand to the thrust, the speed and power are more terrifying than ordinary cannons. Garp, are you too conceited? So slow cannonballs, you want to use them to hit the Golden Lion flying in the sky. Didn't you come out to be funny? Golden Lion laughed wildly. Even in the eyes of others, these cannonballs fly fast, but at the level of Golden Lion, one flash can dodge the opponent's shells without worrying about it. Flash. The cannonball approached quickly. Seeing a cannonball bombarding it, the Golden Lion swayed from side to side. This cannonball missed. Shiki. At the same time, another Golden Light group suddenly uttered a huge roar. Sengoku had obviously been thoroughly stimulated by the reckless Golden Lion, and a man with Golden Light all over came out from there. The Golden Lights on Madara fell down, and the Golden Lights continued to grow bigger. His arms gradually increased, his waist gradually formed into a pumpkin shape, and his face became more and more of the solemnity of Buddhism. I won't make you arrogant. And I won't let you arrogant in front of Marine who represents justice. Your arrogance is the point you should most repent in prison in the future. Buddha's shock wave. A golden light flashed out, and a large golden light emerged from his cheek. The large hand filled with power pushed out, and a wave of ripples blasted out of his arm. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Wave. The shock wave left the palm of the hand, and the debris, wood, and abandoned hull that were driving the surroundings were directly driven to fly up. The pillars that directly collided with the impact body, and the hard marble stones were also directly turned into fragments by the shock wave. It immediately became part of the shock wave, and a large mass formed behind the shock wave. Wow, what is that? Such a strong shock wave. The people on the pirate ship were originally flying in the air. Many times they seemed to be doing nothing because their captain was too strong to exert their strength at all. The same, just need to sing praises, wave the flag and shout. Sengoku. Garp. Golden Lion can get out of Garp's iron bullets, but in the face of these shock waves from Sengoku, Golden Lion instantly has a feeling of suffocation. Nothing else, just because the shock wave gave Golden Lion a strong sense of oppression after a long distance. Advertisement. I will never be afraid of you Marines like paper tigers. Golden Lion hurriedly towed several abandoned pirate ships and added more powerful energy on them to form a huge dragon-like Lion Majesty. Lion Majesty. The sky became darker in an instant, and the light from the sky was immediately obscured by the hulk attracted by the Golden Lion. The huge hull combined into a huge dragon, covered with gold. Light. Bump. One boat after another, there were snakes in a row, and the snake's head directly raised its head and hit the shock wave coming from the head. A bright golden light flickered from the place of impact, and violent friction occurred, and the golden shock wave pierced into Lion Majesty's interior directly. Boom. Even though the long snakes that were originally piled up by these abandoned pirate ships seemed vulnerable under the golden impact, and were even directly pierced by the shock wave of the Buddha, those forces have been greatly slowed down. Razor. Tempest Kick. Moonwalk. Iron Fist. But Golden Lion faced not only an opponent with admiral strength, but also another Garp with admiral strength at the rank of lieutenant general. A gliding trace was scattered in the air, flying over a huge black edge from above, and a black iron fist pierced directly out of Garp's body, and as soon as it got close to Golden Lion's fierce fist, it slammed into his face. Garp, you attacked. It seems you haven't died. Advertisement. Golden Lion was not afraid, and flashed to a higher sky. The helpless Garp is because the Tempest Kick and the Razor have already determined the direction of gliding when they are used, so they are not as flexible as the Golden Lion in the sky. So as the Golden Lion avoids the two directly staggered, Garp also missed in the best fighter meeting, even Golden Lion has not touched a single hair. Golden Lion has the ability, don't run. Garp was helpless when he shot down. Lion Majesty ship roll. Dozens of abandoned large ships in the sky were once again entangled by the Golden Lion, slowly forming a huge hull, and the black hull directly cast a shadow on the earth once again. Garp frowned and wiped the sweat from his forehead. F. King, lousy fights with you. Garp made one of the craziest decisions to date. He flew atop the marine warship again, and as soon as he got there, he immediately asked people to send him boxes of iron bullets. A person ignited nearby, and the iron bullets Garp was holding in his hand began to shoot out frantically. Fist Bone Meteor Group. Shoo. Dozens of shells were delivered to Garp in turn. Garp seemed to be a discus-throwing machine. His body was charged backwards and pushed forward at an angle of 45 degrees. The iron bullets pierced it directly along the parabola like a goshawk spreading its wings. Above the huge hull. Direct bombardment one after another. Chapter 275. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Boom. The shells hit those huge hulls accurately. However, are you playing with a little kid's house? Dare you dare to pay more? Such a small iron ball wants to be compared with the lion's head rolled up by several big boats. Are you brain dead? Don't you know what overweight is called? Golden Lion laughed wildly. Roger saw that. Lousy was the number one in the world. One player played against Admiral, two members of Marine. He didn't fall behind at all, he still crushed his opponent directly. Roger, Lousy will ask if you accept it. Golden Lion laughed wildly, and bursts of devil fruit's attraction was continuously transmitted to several large ships through Golden Lion's hands. The abandoned ships directly crushed each other, compressed each other, and vibrated as the ships continued to wrap. The surrounding air has directly become an unreal existence. The clouds shattered and the sky cast huge shadows. It's not over yet. Golden Lion, don't be proud. Garp threw off his Marine Wind Justice cloak, revealing his naked arms, screaming, "Fist Bone Meteor Group." Dozens of iron bullets rose into the air from Garp's hands, like a black eagle flying high, and bravely rushed into the opponent's position, directly hitting several times and exploding, this time more than a dozen cannonballs. Whether it was a starter or a late starter, it almost hit the ship at the same time. Bang bang bang. The flames blazed all around, directly burning the large black ships around them that had been left for many years. The Golden Lion's ship scroll really turned into a golden flaming ship scroll, revealing a ferocious lion head. Advertisement. Billy Billy, the flammable hull was completely lit. It has been burning after being ignited. Golden Lion, I'll give you a braised lion head. Garp was relieved when he saw this situation, and took out a treasure that had not been used for many years behind him. Garp just went to the underground warehouse and took out a huge black one. Iron ball. This is usually used by Garp to practice wrist strength, now it has to be used against Golden Lion. Extra big black ball. A black ball almost the size of a marine warship was directly lifted by Garp with both hands, accumulated power backwards, and threw it at an angle of 45 degrees. A gust of wind in the ears was directly taken to fly, and the sails on the warship were blown torsion and swaying. The terrible strength directly drove the sailing ship forward by 7 or 8 meters. The huge iron ball directly uses Garp's crazy iron fist to hit the sky. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Garp. Golden Lion felt that he was being bullied. This person's name was clearly aimed at and mocking him. His original trick was called Lion Majesty Boat Roll. Now the other party has changed his name to Braised Lion Head. Isn't it just scolding yourself that you have a braised meal? Is it tolerable or unbearable? Golden Lion commanded the braised lion head in his hand to roar out, and the 4 abandoned ships merged into an object the size of a marine warship, forming a huge ship volume that covered the sky and was drawn out by the gravity of Golden Lion. Directly under the action of gravitational acceleration, the constant falling fast increases its own speed and impact. Go, go. The crew around Marine was ignited by this scene. When have you seen such a magnificent scene? The ship's body is still burning, and a lot of Martian dross can be directly blown on people's faces with the strong wind. The heat wave is higher than 1 layer, but it does not affect their surging mood at this moment. The captain will win. Advertisement. Marine must win. There was a burst of pride in everyone's heart, whether it was Marine or a pirate, they couldn't help but screamed, cheering for themselves. Boom. With a loud noise, the braised lion head slammed into the extra-large iron ball of the same size directly in midair. A fiery red light and a dark light rubbed fiercely in midair, and the damaged sparks and wood fell off in midair and turned into a sea of fire. Bump. A strong golden light spread from the 2 places where they collided, forming a huge shock wave like the shock wave of a Buddha. The surrounding clouds were directly broken by every inch, and a group of birds in the distance were also affected by the shock wave, and then all were counted. Was stunned by the shock wave. Yes, it's Conqueror's Haki. Several of the pirates on the ship have already seen Golden Lion's Haki, and at this time it was naturally the Haki that Golden Lion issued. As soon as they recognized this Haki, they wanted to turn over and run away, but the invisible shock wave directly covered them. Before they stepped out in the air, they fell down and fainted. So strong. The Marines on the marine warship below escaped a disaster because the collision was closer to the Golden Lion pirate group. At this time, the pirates could not help but fall into pieces like the wind. Marine they were also a commotion. Boom. The extra-large iron ball sprinted directly and smashed the Golden Lion head ship roll, but this ship roll has a thick ship roll that is tens of meters wide, so it loses strength directly when it hits halfway, and was easily relieved by Golden Lion. The ground escaped. Golden Lion and the members of the flying pirates who were still awake just wanted to laugh when they saw this. However, on the other side of their vision, which was obscured by the huge black ball, a golden light was rising brightly. The golden light wrapped in amazement was the Sengoku admiral who had transformed into the Sengoku of Buddha. There was a hidden body in his fat body. A powerful force. Advertisement. The huge halo is also shaking with the power of the Buddha Sengoku. Buddha's shock wave. The power in Sengoku's hand exploded slowly, his arms seemed to be getting weaker and more difficult to support. Feeling that he was about to reach his limit, Sengoku immediately pushed it out of his hand, a golden light ripples instantly spread out. 0. The shock wave of the Buddha hidden behind the big black ball, Golden Lion never thought from the beginning that the opponent would use a joint attack, and Sengoku and Garp cooperated very tacitly, to the effect that Golden Lion did not notice the black iron ball and then hit it. He was so murderous, so when he saw that Garp's extra-large black ball attack was ineffective, he even laughed at Garp's uncontrollable ability. Until the extra-large sphere fell and the blocked golden light appeared in front of him, Golden Lion's eyes shrank in that instant. Garp Sengoku. The shock wave generated by the collision with Garp's extra-large black ball directly stunned half of his crew. Now the opponent has joined forces to play a trick. How can you keep Golden Lion from getting angry? Golden Lion now has no other choice but to use its lion fruit to quickly move it away. Bobo. A shock wave of Buddha caught up, and Golden Lion hurriedly drew out a long sword and clamped it on his body. That strong and invincible impact fell directly on that sword. The invincible Golden Lion could only rely on the sky. Take off your power with lion fruit bit by bit. Boom. The shock wave was endless, directly blasting the Golden Lion out. The rudder on his head that had been inserted into his head for the last time he played against Roger, the Pirate King, was about to fall apart by the shock wave pusher. That is the Golden Lion's cul-de-sac. If it is pulled out, Golden Lion is very likely to face danger to his life. Lion fruit. Golden Lion took advantage of being blasted by power, and quickly retreated in embarrassment. Chapter 276. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Boom. The golden light shock wave rushed from the front, and the Golden Lion used lion fruit to fly his body out, avoiding this trick without any danger. He knew very well in his heart that such a sneak attack had to be killed with one blow, otherwise it would be difficult for it to work in the future. Haha, don't you boast of Marine honor? The strongest Marine Lieutenant General and Marine Admiral. Why can't a bomb blow me up? Are you old? Are you old? A meal and shit 3 times. Golden Lion fluttered away. Up. Or are you just a bunch of weak chickens in a basket of vegetables? The Golden Lion is so cool. One man fights 2 Marine pillar generals. You must know that the Pirate King Roger had been defeated by Marine. Now Golden Lion has defeated these 2 Marines. Doesn't that mean that he has superior abilities? How can this be a cool word? Shiki, don't be too rampant, look behind you. Garp just threw out an extra-large sphere and fell directly outside. It consumes a lot of physical energy and has been breathing on the ground, so when you say a word, it's panting. Go up a few times. You tell me to watch. I won't give my part to the enemy. I won't be so stupid. You must have already calculated it. When you let me look back, you will kill me directly. I will never. Shiki froze for a moment, and then said as if suddenly realized. Captain, Captain, come and save us, come and save us. Golden Lion was shocked, and just when Golden Lion was about to pretend to be forced, he yelled directly from behind him. Golden Lion was sure he was his pirate, and he turned his head and took a look. Oh my god. The sky was filled with the shattered hulls flying in the sky. The hulls were already fragmented, and the original foreheads could not be seen. Suddenly, there were a lot of black spots in the sky, and his crew had begun to fly down frantically. Advertisement. What Golden Lion can control is those non-living bodies. If it is a living body, no other than himself can be controlled. But now the dozen or so abandoned ships summoned above are all directly annihilated by the shock wave of Sengoku's Buddha, and they have become a row of you. Ah, Golden Lion felt that he was greatly humiliated. You guys did such a thing to my companions. He jumped from his original standing position and landed on the ground, jumped into the team where Marine was standing, like a lion jumping into the garden of a group of lambs. Puff puff. The lion head that was thrown out by Sengoku raised his hand with one hand, now it fell directly into the sea with a thud. Go. Take it, Garp, if you don't dare to shoot, I will treat you as a grandson. Ha ha ha. You are so treacherous, I'm sorry, I won't be soft-hearted. Golden Lion laughed furiously, and laughed wildly. The power of his whole body was madly conveyed with his own wild laugh. His hands were beating, and his hands were pointing. The place was lifted up and there was almost a piece of ground. Garp and Sengoku didn't expect Golden Lion to make such a sinister trick. They wrapped the Marine's people directly into the earth-coiling lion head, and the 2 powerful lion heads came quickly towards the 2 of them. Puff! I fell directly into the sea. Garp waited until the first shock wave was over, and instantly turned his arm into an iron body, which effectively protected his arm. Sengoku and Garp stood together again, coldly considering that they had already destroyed the flying pirates, and the Golden Lion panting 1.6 by them. They have no way to deal with Golden Lion's flight control skills, nor can they glide flexibly against each other. Suddenly, the blood was sprayed out directly, and the strong impact was transmitted from his arm. The arm seemed to be energized instantly, making his whole body numb and painful. Advertisement. If these two people really love these so-called marine classmates so much, then the two of them must wait to be tortured miserably by themselves. Standing on the ground, his feet have steadily plunged into the mud 2 or 3 feet deep on the ground. But the falling speed of that lion head has been stopped. Eternal hell. Funny, I'll let you know what you are, the real eternal hell. Look at the watch on that arm yourself. Do you think something is wrong? The strong gravitational force has attracted the Western film in you. When you wake up, the magnetic stripe will be invalidated. Take it to death. Lion Majesty. Earth coiling man. Iron body. Then the shock wave of the lion head will pierce the other party's heart without any barriers, ensuring that the other party will vomit blood. How could this group of people destroy all its hulls so insidiously? I want to avenge you. Kill. Wow. Sengoku jumped quickly in midair and caught the huge sphere directly in midair, and the golden Buddha light began to sway from the top of his arm. A huge piece of mud was wrapped directly under Marine's combat power, and those who had no time to escape on it were all squeezed tightly together by the mud and the scraps of the Hulk. Boom. The dredging lion head is slowly on its way. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. With a roar in his mouth, treating himself as a fulcrum, Sengoku raised the huge lion head, pushed it directly up, and flew out behind him. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Advertisement. If they really love the marine companion, they won't try their best. A flush of flush appeared on Shiki's face, and the energy in the palm of his hand was still continuously being sent out, and the abandoned hulls that fell on the ground around were directly attracted to the past, joined in it, and slowly formed two huge lion heads. The surface of these lion heads are half and half bodies that have emerged, looking like Zongzi crawling out of the tomb. Qin Luo used the water to melt all things and ran outside. As soon as he got here, he saw an object flying in the sky. This object caused Admiral Sengoku to have a headache. Among them, a person with the appearance of a student with a must-have who got out of the sea by luck. Shiki's hands were already shaking, and he pushed straight out of his chest. Two strong lions rushed up with their brave and unmatched lion heads. The two looked at each other at the same time, and then the two of them who were very tacitly rushed forward and directly faced all the attacks of these two men. At this moment, Golden Lion floated into the sky again, very silent. He must find Roger's body if he wants to run to the sky. That is the purpose of his trip. Garp raised his hands at an angle of 45 degrees and prepared to directly catch the head of the Golden Lion in front of him. With the hand that the lion head is still rotating at high speed, some sparks are already faintly appearing, and I am afraid that the hands will directly block the huge lion head. Golden Lion, what do you want to do? Let go of the actions in your hands. We can still have discussions, otherwise we will completely crush you here even if we are desperate for our lives. Let you live forever inside eternal hell. So now Golden Lion is giving AF King headache. Suddenly there was a voice after leaving, it's really bad luck, why did you hit the stone again? Garp and Sengoku called, they are their lovely subordinates, so they can't make any mistakes. Bump. Chapter 277. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. As soon as Qin Luo looked up, he saw the Gypsophilia, and the Gypsophilia pounced toward him. The lion roll in the sky was thrown out by Sengoku, and it was already loosened a lot. Now it was loose and fell all over the sky, with mud everywhere and some bad people. Suddenly Qin Luo felt like he was soaked by Shang, and he was so scared that Qin Luo yelled in a low voice, "Who throws the trash? Recycle it for me. Sort the trash first. How can people behave like this? Throwing rubbish casually, that's all. The man who throws rubbish still makes this kind of operation, so that the rubbish is sent out without sorting." Repulsion. Qin Luo Tianzhang. Qin Luo roared wildly, repelling him from the power of his body, releasing huge energy. As a result, the mud and people that were supposed to be scattered all over the sky were directly pushed far away by the repulsive force of Qin Luo Shen Luo Tianzhang. Most of them received a powerful force and were directly sent back to that direction. What happened here was seen by a marine who fell into the sea. He was surprised with his mouth open and speechless. After all, in his eyes, except for the flying pirates and golden lion, who would violate the laws of nature in the world, violating the acceleration of gravity, 13 actually bounced back from the sea when it had fallen directly on the ground. Advertisement. What the hell is this? It's not a fantasy. There are many others who have the same doubts with him. Golden Lion immediately vomited blood from these two marine celebrities, especially if he didn't know how to work around, and also seemed to care for the calf. Garp directly vomited blood without holding back. The inside of the body must have received the difference. Degree of trauma. Haha, you two are a bunch of chickens. Weak chickens, you want to beat your grandfather's attention, are you a little tender? Golden Lion fluttered to the sky, boasting that he was invincible in the sky. At this moment, Marine Lieutenant General Garp and Admiral Sengoku stared at Golden Lion intently. Suddenly they saw a lot of people and dirt flying upside down above Golden Lion's head. They were surprised and speechless. Sengoku threw it backhand directly behind him. Why is he back now? Oh my god. What's behind me? Why is it coming at us? The Marines were stunned. It was obvious that Admiral Sengoku had just thrown it out, so why did he come back again? You. Behind you. Garp was speechless in surprise. Maybe there are ghosts in this world. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. You. Do this again. Is there anything new? I will definitely not be fooled this time. Golden Lion has experienced a lot of battles. Just now I remembered that I was almost calculated by these two people. What is it now? Said that it would not be calculated by Garp and Sengoku's insidious conspiracy. Puff puff. Golden Lion is quite conceited, and naturally will never accept the opinions of Sengoku and Garp. It was too late and it was fast, and a large shadow fell quickly from the top of that person's head. Dong dong. Advertisement. A figure directly screamed and fell on the Golden Lion baby bump, and the Golden Lion was dizzy. Only then did Golden Lion react, grabbing the person in his hand and throwing it to the ground, and the brain was torn apart on the stone with a touch. Golden Lion roared wildly, "Which thing actually attacked you, Grandpa Golden Lion?" But before the Golden Lion completely roared out and went out to smash gold ingots, this kind of thing was of course one after another. Dong 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 immediately fell down 3 Marines and 6 large pieces of mud. The smashed Golden Lion was dizzy. Ah, Golden Lion was smashed one after another. The anger in his heart didn't strike. He wanted to find out the person in front of him, and then tied him up and used various whips fiercely. Whipped each other. Fancy show. Seek death. The tortoise son dared to smash Lousy. Get out of me if he has the ability. Hey, what's your name? It was God's will that hit you. At this time, a sentence floated from the sea, but the men who were familiar with this sentence couldn't help crying and were unfamiliar. After hearing this sentence, people thought it was a amiable big brother who came over. It's him, it's really him. Garp cried out inexplicably. You can't read it wrong, right? A lieutenant general asked a little skeptically. Although he had a deep influence on him last time, he didn't look like such a person. That's right, it's really him. Sengoku also nodded. Who is he? Are you playing dumb puzzles? Golden Lion saw this group of people so timid as a mouse, and couldn't help feeling happy. What are these people doing here? Said it was Marine Admiral. Advertisement. Why, you seem to miss me so much. It's him, our little Luyun. I know you plan to sing like this, right? Then continue singing, I'll listen. Chin Luo, although the expression on his face was concealed by the peculiar mask, he could still know that Chin Luo had lost his joy through laughter. Hey, where did you come out? Golden Lion looked back and saw a tall man walking in the direction of so much dirt and people that had just flown over. He was wearing a mask, black the robe is added, and the flowing clouds float. Ah, report, Immortal Country Admiral. At this time, a person with the appearance of Marine rushed up from Chin Luo's direction, just about to speak. 467 Chin Luo growled, eyes at full level. Monthly reading. The pupils turned red in an instant, and the pattern on the top was divided into 2, divided into 4, and then changed again, until it was as complicated as the appearance of multiple 6-pointed stars overlapping together. Chin Luo looked at the running Marine, and Marine stared at Chin Luo in a daze. Unfortunately, little Marine didn't know how dangerous Chin Luo's gameplay was. In this way, infinite Tsukuyomi broke out directly, and the little marine reported. It seems to have suddenly entered a very wonderful world, all of which is red and red. It seems to have entered a person's pupil, and a person is constantly piercing a sword into his body. Hey, what's the matter with you? Just let it go. If you have a fart, say something quickly. Garp completely ignored the little marine who ran out in a panic. Could it be that this kid saw that Manhwaedit was ruined again, so he went straight out, condemn. But after listening to it for a long time, I haven't heard that someone from behind continues to report this matter. Garp glanced at this man in wonder, and saw that the marine behind him turned into a pair of weird eyes. Garp instantly felt that things were definitely not that simple. He looked up and saw Chin Luo, who was performing illusionism. A blood-red eye was exposed in a one-eye mask, and the complicated patterns on it were exactly the same as the serious complicated patterns of his own men. Chapter 278. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Garp glanced at Sengoku, and Sengoku glanced at Garp helplessly. Even if he was as knowledgeable as Sengoku, he didn't know what the eyes meant. Chin Luo frowned and retracted his gaze. He didn't expect that after he had done that, there would be witnesses. Boy, you just hit me with people and mud. Golden Lion doesn't care what the person who suddenly rushed out to make a report wants to do, but he will never let others shit on his head. Urine, but now that brat has done both. I didn't hit you. Chin Luo looked harmless. Report. At this time, another soldier rushed out of the main road on the side of Manhwaedit. The thoughtful Sengoku directly turned his back to Chin Luo, making Chin Luo invisible. Say, Sengoku said. Someone invaded our marine treasure room and stole devil fruit. The reporter said. Speak louder. Our treasure vault was invaded, and the method was extremely violent. He went straight through the door of our safe, and all the devil fruit in it disappeared overnight. Ah, what? Oh my god. Who was so daring to knock open Marine's treasure room and directly swept away the devil fruit inside? The methods are extremely brutal. Advertisement. Who did it? Sengoku almost didn't spit out a mouthful of Buddha's blood, because it was disgusting. Haha, you don't even know who did it. You Marines are really incompetent. Golden Lion was really in a good mood. He didn't expect that these Marine base camps would be taken away by others. Golden Lion, what's so funny about you? Are you still a gunman for others? Garp said coldly. Golden Lion thought that it was indeed such a thing. Uncle him, Lousy is here to work hard, tremblingly humiliating this group of tortoise grandchildren. Unexpectedly someone has taken the lead, taking advantage of his dragging in front, he will come. He hit the west, and directly carried out a sneak attack. Golden Lion, according to legend, a long time ago, he wanted to rule the world together with Roger, but Roger refused, and the angry Golden Lion directly started with Roger. This was the beginning of the Atwal naval battle. That life and death duel was said to have already killed the Roger pirates. Suddenly, a huge storm came and directly scattered the Golden Lion's flying pirates into the bottom of the water. This is Sengoku's strategy, to lead the tiger and drive the wolf. It's not like the Shanghai pirate King Roger, it's the pain of his life. He wants to beat everyone again, so that he can surpass that shit One Piece Roger. The ground on which he was standing swelled crazily, and then rolled the ground up. Booming, a black lion head stood upright, wailing, screaming to the sky, and trembling crazily. But Garp didn't dare to relax at all. When Golden Lion was angry, he would kill his personality at any time, so he was always ready for Golden Lion to go crazy at any time in order to protect himself. The extremely conspicuous rudder behind Golden Lion is the shame of his life. It can be said that it was bestowed by Roger, the One Piece King. He is definitely not here today to fight for Roger's injustice. Golden Lion looks like you can't even beat this pirate, you definitely can't compare to Roger. At this time Sengoku said again, and another Garp looked at the situation in front of him with a dazed expression. Golden Lion's angry beard flared, and when he came up, he would release a lot of energy and directly sacrificed his ultimate move. Advertisement. Marine executives have heard of such a man a long time ago. They are really not the opponent of this kid, but if they can lure Golden Lion and Luyun to him carrot, if they profit from the fisherman, there may be a chance to get rid of him. You, brat. Golden Lion repeated. Oh, it turned out to be you. You actually used the Golden Lion as a gunman. Sengoku looked very relaxed, and even converged the Buddha's form directly into a normal person. According to Sengoku, he became a wise general. In his eyes, only Roger can be regarded as an opponent. You, brat, Golden Lion flushed with anger. I am going to challenge the entire Marin Bando. How could it be better than Roger of the Shanghai Pirate? His golden beard was trembling in anger. Because the Golden Lion was exhausted here, Qin Luo entered the Marine headquarters as if he were in an uninhabited state. There were no guards. Qin Luo stole into the Marine treasure room and it was not easy to catch it. Qin Luo then said, "What does your exhaustion have to do with me?" Lion Majesty Earth Coiling. You have worked so hard, what do you do with me? Qin Luo casually agreed. Qin Luo saw Sengoku's conspiracy and tricks clearly, but he was not afraid, because Qin Luo wanted to defeat Golden Lion in minutes. Oh, it turned out to be you. Marine is still chattering. Of course, most young and energetic people are filled with outrage when they hear it, but those who are like Lieutenant General Marine will only be silent when they hear it. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Everyone under Marine is so angry that they dare not speak. In this world, fists and sharp blades can kill people, while tactics can also kill people invisible. Sengoku motioned to Garp to relax, but Garp was tense. Sengoku smiled helplessly, but didn't know what to say. The strategy that is spoken out is not a strategy. Advertisement. However, it is the first time for Garp and Sengoku to see Sengoku so easily. You must know that the Ryayun pirate was the one who almost killed Sengoku before. The reason why the upper level is silent is because the person in front of him is Luyun, the strongest man who passed through the eternal hell in the Holy Land. The rewards have exceeded 2.5 billion Baileys. Golden Lion hovered in the air, pointing his finger in the direction of Qin Luo. Sengoku casually threw a piece of paper in his hand to the seagull behind him who was dedicated to destroying letters. Earth Coiling's lion head opened its blood basin and spouted directly, and came to Qin Luo's side, revealing a huge head. The blood basin had a big mouth and directly hit Qin Luo. Hey, Golden Lion, you seem to have been used. One Piece Roger will not be used by anyone. You are obviously inferior to Roger. He doesn't care who the other party is, Luyun. Very awesome. Anyway, he will kill him today. Die. Ouch. At this time, from Qin Luo's words, they had guessed that the person in front of them was the one who stole their marine things. Oh, it was you. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. What do you look at, Naval Headquarters? Lousy wants to come and leave. You need Golden Lion to be a gunman. Which green onion are you? You also deserve it. Qin Luo said calmly. With his means, he paid. I really don't need anyone's help. Advertisement. Chapter 279. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Mangekyo. Suck. Qin Luo has inherited the full level of eyes, and naturally may have learned Kakashi's most famous Mangekyo Sharingan, but compared to Kakashi's bleeding every time he uses Mangekyo Sharingan, Qin Luo's full level of eyes is a trivial matter of blinking. Gudong. The lion head seemed to fall into a black hole of infinite mass instantly, and it was immediately annihilated. What happened just now? I clearly saw the huge lion head of the Golden Lion. Why did it feel like it was eaten all of a sudden? Look at his eyes. Luyun's eyes were very weird just now. The Marines and the pirates are now quarreling with their enemies, discussing things that they can't understand at all. But they all know that this is the world of Devil Fruit's ability, and there must be some strangers who can do this. What's going on? Golden Lion could obviously feel the blood connection with him just now, but was cut off in a short time. Why is that? Qin Luo found it funny looking at Golden Lion's blindfolded face. As for the fun, it just sent the play of Earth Coiling to a different dimension space. To be honest, Qin Luo can still enter that space. 343. Golden Lion, don't you want to see where your lion head is? Qin Luo suddenly became playful and released Mangekyo Sharingan again, throwing out the lion head Earth Coiling inside. But this time it was placed behind the Golden Lion. Boom. Golden Lion didn't know what Qin Luo was playing, but soon he heard a booming sound coming from behind, and suddenly felt incredible. Advertisement. Because this is indeed the Earth Coiling that I released, the feeling of being floated by my own energy is still there, blood is connected. Golden Lion wanted to reconquer this thing in the past. Hoo-hoo. It floated in 2 strokes. But the powerful Earth Coiling has disappeared out of thin air. Full eyes. Mangekyo Sharingan. Qin Luo sucked it away again, and when Golden Lion looked around, Qin Luo threw it in another direction from Golden Lion. The Golden Lion ran over, at full level. Mangekyo Sharingan. Qin Luo threw it out again, and Golden Lion ran over again. Haha, isn't this training a dog? It's so funny. Garp was originally a natural optimist. Even in such an unfavorable situation, he couldn't help laughing wildly after seeing this scene. A big humiliation in this life. You must kill and then quickly. Those pirates who had no time to escape and were cheering for the Golden Lion were directly bounced off the sea hundreds of miles away. It is estimated that the Sea Kings are waiting for them, and there are endless hunger and despair. Death without repentance. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. I am going to kill you. Now that kid looks good. Garp looked at Qin Luo, who was being pressured, with a burst of laughter. The person who fired the fire here was Sengoku, and he couldn't make his old man clean in a word. Qin Luo would never beg his neighbors, but he would not let the perpetrators escape. Advertisement. When Sengoku saw this scene, his eyes flickered, and he felt that this person was playing really sick, but Qin Luo thought that this was the full power of Golden Lion, and that was wrong. Just continue to provoke Golden Lion and Qin Luo. The contradiction between, wait for Marine's eternal hell may have two felons imprisoned today. Qin Luo sighed and jumped into the air, completely releasing his full-level repulsion, releasing a full 9-layer repulsion, and all areas within the scope of Qin Luo directly turned into a large barren area on the ground. The remaining warships were hit and flew directly when they encountered the repulsive force of the Shenluo Tianjiang, and even those that were too late to hit and flew were directly crushed by the repulsive force and turned into powder. Golden Lion was startled at first, and then remembered that this kid seemed to be the one who ejected him. Earth coiling bounced back directly. What? Mighty, Captain! The surviving pirates shouted wildly. This is the true strength of their Golden Lion captain. Ha ha ha, are you learning a dog peeing mark? Qin Luo can't help it anymore. This Golden Lion is too funny. Isn't this the same as a dog peeing mark swearing? Still claiming that he is not a pet. Isn't this a face slap? Then I will pay you back. Have you forgotten the mud rain? The time that hurt your head? Qin Luo continued to laugh. It seems to be in a very state of affairs. 10 miles around is covered by this piece of marine warships. Even the area is wider than the front of Marine Fortress. Under the support of the acceleration of gravity, this jumped down, and it looked very mighty and extraordinary when it fell on the ground. As the Golden Lion yelled, "Kill him!" The marine warship flying all over the sky fell straight down 3,000 feet in an instant. Bug, are you playing a kid's playhouse game? Qin Luo dismissed it. So it was fun to lift 6 marine warships into the sky in such a large area, but it was too much effort. God tier Luo Tianjiang. Shiki quickly ran over several warships and touched them a few times. He touched all the 6 marine warships at the scene. Advertisement. And in the middle of these marine warships is Qin Luo, the must-kill target of Golden Lion. Lion Majesty in the sky. Wow, run away. The expression on Marine's face below instantly stiffened. All these marine warships fell down. That's not a dying rhythm. Lion, go over and pick up your lion head. Qin Luo looked sincere. Drop. The marine warships of this era are all improved ships. They are not comparable to ordinary pirate ships. They have an incomparable displacement. These 6 sea chrysanthemum warships are deployed in the sky at once, forming a large area of protection. The internet. No, Qin Luo said baccalaureately, you were what you were. Right, Sengoku. Shiki floated up into the sky and raised the 6 marine warships that he had touched just now to a new height at one time. A continuous stream of marine warships soon appeared on this new height. That is also one of his great shame. This little boy has to be skinned even if he doesn't die. After a long time in Sengoku's eyes, a smile finally reappeared, which stimulated Golden Lion for a long time, and finally took out some dry goods. You treat me as a pet. Golden Lion was furious. Golden Lion's brain hurts as soon as he hears it. Didn't he King go out today to pay respect to the second master? Today, how could such a brain dead be fooled by this kid? Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Lion Majesty. There was no answer, and the wave in his hand became even faster. Advertisement. Report. 37%. Chapter 280. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The hulls floating in the sky were directly bombarded by a large amount of abilities in an instant, and the huge marine warship directly collided with this strong repulsion in midair. The repulsive force covering a radius of 10 miles immediately showed that such a large area should not have such a strong power, but even in such a large area, Qin-Luo still achieved a strong repulsion. This is the charm of full-level repulsion. The huge warships and their skeletal dragons were directly resisted by the repulsive force of the hurricane and they were about to be broken. The repulsive force directly overwhelmed those strong gravitational accelerations, and the marine warship bounced back. Attack indiscriminately. Return it to you, Golden Lion. Golden Lion looked at the things in front of him with a dazed expression. He was in the sky now, and he saw the 6 marine warships that were originally flying to the ground. At this time, he ran out directly in front of him, and it was still the kind of majestic and majestic. It looks like he flew upside down and rushed towards himself. If someone took a look from the perspective of Golden Lion at this time, he would see a very strange scene, the huge marine warship directly enveloping him and flying over. Boom. 10 miles away. No teleport, no moonwalk, how can Golden Lion run away? Even if it is a lion fruit capable person, it is only able to make him fly. Boom. Advertisement. 6 warships rumblingly squeezed behind Golden Lion, and violently wrapped Golden Lion completely. Sengoku furrowed his brows as he listened to the angrily screaming of the Golden Lion over there. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. You give me 30 devil fruits. I'll leave. When is the brain cell? But this is far from enough to activate a law, he needs more urgent mysterious power. Forget it, you don't understand this kind of academic activity. I wasted my time and brain cells. Golden Lion is a thorny head. I promise that if you give him 15 warships, you can completely destroy 2/3 of Malin Bando, and this group of people can stand it. Hey, Sengoku, let me make a deal with you. Qin-Luo smiled slightly, showing a very interesting expression. Okay, don't ask, Qin-Luo said with a black line. Lousy doesn't know anything about you stupid guys. You put me down, you have the ability to fight me upright. Golden Lion was so angry, he didn't expect that he hadn't completely let go of the fight before he was surrounded by the other party with such conspiracies. This is unfair. Oh, accidentally, I also made a lion head. Qin-Luo's face can be said to be very happy. Just now he stole 30 marine collections, devil fruit, 13 of them from the treasure house. Logia fruit, 17 Paramesha devil fruit. It directly increased his points by 25,300 points. Remaining points 25,308. It turned out to be only worth 30 devil fruits. Advertisement. Moreover, under Qin-Luo's control, the head of Golden Lion was displayed, and the rest of the marine warships directly wrapped him up, and he was not given a chance to do it at all, as if he was put on a yoke. 0. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Chinese MTL fan fiction, second element novel can be read at hotmtl novel for free. Okay, I don't know you in general. Anyway, I know you have no culture, Qin-Luo added in my heart, and then turned to Golden Lion and said, well, wait for Dad to sell you a good price, but you rare varieties, there must be a price worthy of you. Why do you make a deal with me? Why do you? Who are you? Golden Lion was angry, and I was scornful of his uncle. Lousy was in the same generation as One Piece Roger, and this kid sold himself to Marine. Otherwise, I'll tell Golden Lion to be released. Qin-Luo smiled, grinningly, endlessly. Son, I'm your father. Qin-Luo couldn't help humming a song that was very famous in the internet era. Son, I am your father. Originally there was a very interesting song on the internet, it was called Who Are You Mine, and then others put these two songs together, Who Are You, My Son, and I Am Your Father. It's about the same. Golden Lion said smoothly. The problem was discovered as soon as he exited, and he immediately roared, you or his uncle, get out of here. Lousy is lousy, no dad. The poor Golden Lion couldn't help falling into Qin-Luo's pit. I recognized Qin-Luo's godson, of course, no one can blame it. What is Smithian economics? Garp asked. He also relied on the flexible use of gravity and repulsion to fly directly into the sky. Boy, although Garp didn't know what a silly fork was, he still felt that this was definitely not a nice sentence from me. Advertisement. You. Sengoku was completely mad. It's really a feng shui turn. He was not ready to do this just now. He used Golden Lion to disgust Qin Luo. He didn't expect that Qin Luo would throw the pot directly with his backhand and throw it to himself. What? No way. Laozi doesn't have devil fruit anymore. Sengoku roared wildly, even in a hurry. This person in front of you is a huge greed. Don't grab 30 devil fruits. No, this kid has already grabbed devil fruit once, because the number of these 30 devil fruits is the number of collectibles. This is the market price. Of course, the market price is affected by market fluctuations. Did you guys learn Smithian economics? Qin Luo knew he was wrong when he spoke. Where is the Smithian economy in this era? Learn. Because this Qin Luo's ability has been judged by Gang Gukong and Zephyr to be very high, he did not expect that even Golden Lion would not be an opponent to the other party in the end. What deal? Boy, you'll take out the devil fruit that you robbed, or else. Sengoku can't collect one, so it's coming, if it's there for a long time. I can't beat it, and it's too useless if I don't beat it. How about, Sengoku, I have a good deal. How about 40 devil fruits? Qin Luo closed the Golden Lion with one hand, and then the power in his hand can be unlocked at any time. Golden Lion suppressed the center. Ah, isn't it just 30 devil fruits? Garp and Sengoku said in shock at the same time, your uncles don't grab it. Of course, there is no problem with Qin Luo keeping one more son. In the future, he will be the same as Father Whitebeard. It is also quite good to enjoy the blessing of the Chi people in this way. Sengoku couldn't figure out what Qin Luo wanted to do at this time, but seeing Qin Luo's unkind smile gave him a bad feeling. Well, my transaction is honest, right? Qin Luo said harmlessly. Garp was stunned. How the hell did this happen? So the huge group of warships bounced back directly. Forget it, why can you still lock the Golden Lion directly like you can manipulate it? Advertisement.